Is this thing on?
Yeah,
Hello?
it's live. It's live.
Hey, what's up? Ace here, and I got my homie Brian Staveley. Good morning, everyone. Sorry we're a little late. You know how that goes with the technical difficulties. So, Brian, you've been. Let me go ahead and mute that. Shout out to the chat. Who's all here? Who do we got in chat?
You got a lot of people. You got like 70 people already.
Cool beans. Yeah, I haven't streamed in heck, dude, probably over a year, maybe 2 years now. We used to do it every night, man, like 8 hours. We'd go till that YouTube timer, shut the stream down, be falling asleep half the fucking panel. Those were the good old days. But yeah, it's good to be back, and yeah, hopefully we can open some people up to some new ideas. So yeah, so tell us kind of what you're about, what your channel's about.
I like to talk about a lot of different things. So like when I used to do podcasts before YouTube, it was mostly about like 9/11, media fakery, other stuff like that. And then I got into the moon landings in 2011, and then satellites, ISS, flat Earth, Mandela effect, whatever. I'd say probably 70% or so of my videos are Mandela effect, and the rest probably flat Earth and psyops, consciousness, just whatever comes up. Really, I'm kind of all over the map.
What'd you discover first, flat Earth or Mandela?
Probably flat Earth, but not by that far of a margin. Probably the first time I was introduced to flat Earth was like the middle of 2014, but it didn't resonate right away. That was the first time I was introduced to it. But it was a disinformation 3-minute video that they put out there. But it had a couple points in there like flat earthers don't believe that any of NASA's imagery is real. Well, for me, I'm like, well, I can definitely resonate with that because I know Apollo's fake. I know the satellites are fake. I know the ISS is fake. I know 9/11 imagery is fake. So it was, kind of, but I kind of pushed it away till later in the year, till like the end of 2014. And Mandela was probably right after that, maybe early 2015. Kind of a little foggy when that first Mandela was, and that was just the Berenstain. But I knew it was like legit. Like I knew that it used to definitely be Berenstain, and it wasn't Berenstain. But it didn't really hit me that hard until it was like JFK or South America and the Panama Canal.
Yeah, you know what's weird? I can't remember the first time flat Earth hit me, because it didn't do nothing for me. When I realized it was flat, I was like, huh, okay, so it's flat. Like I didn't have that like awakening, because I already had like a spiritual awakening like years before all that. So it's almost like I knew this whole place was fake in some kind of a way, right? I knew there's NPCs. I knew the government was just completely lying about everything. So when flat Earth came around, I was just like, that makes sense. And it didn't. I don't know. Of course, I got addicted to it,
I feel you there, because everybody, you hear them tell the story and they're like, oh yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was the stupidest thing ever, and I wouldn't talk to people. And I'm just like, well, that's not how it was for me at all, because it took it took a few months to set in and everything, but at no point did I ever think it was stupid, because I came through that media fakery and then other aspects of NASA. So to think that they were lying about that, it really wasn't that crazy. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was that crazy.
No, I hear you. Yeah, so Brian Staveley, everybody, in case you didn't know, the dude puts out like 4 or 5 videos every day. So if you're starving for content, because I don't know, to me it does seem like the content has fallen off, like the stuff you really want to watch,
Yeah.
It's kind of like everyone's done it all before, but we have to keep putting stuff out because there are new people every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally know three or four people in real life that are flat earthers just as of a month ago. So, you know, they don't even have YouTube accounts. Well, one of them does, but they watch YouTube, but they don't have a channel. So they're not sitting there participating in chat. So, you know,
Yeah.
just because we see the same faces in chat all the time doesn't mean there's not new eyes
No, there's
watching.
always new people. That's why I always run premieres of older shows on my third channel, because there's always new people to watch them, you know?
Right. So, yeah, I guess right after Flat Earth, um, which was like at the ass end of 2014, I think.
Yeah.
Um, fucking Berenstein Bears, man. And I remember those books. And
Yeah.
it wasn't enough to hook me right
No,
away.
me neither.
I was like, well, I guess it could be, you know, whatever. Just don't remember it right. And then I think it might have been Dolly with the braces was like the
Yeah.
big one that it
Yeah.
solidified it for me. But here's the deal. That was like 2015. I was trying to find him. There wasn't a lot of info about Mandela effect. There wasn't a lot of good channels really putting stuff
No,
out that I saw.
no, not them.
So, and the ones that put it out, they weren't doing like you. They weren't showing the residue and stuff. You know, that's what really drives it home, all that residue. Anyways,
Yeah.
I knew enough that for sure Dolly had braces, CPO had fucking gold legs, right? But the thing is, I kind of just stopped researching it. It's like
Yeah.
something in the back of my mind was like, dude, like I realized, sure, there is something weird going on. There's a Mandela effect. It's like, what can I do about it? You know, what now? So I just kind of accepted that it was happening, and I don't know.
You
I
accepted it
just
without really thinking about the big picture of it. It's like, dude, my reality is changing. Like, it gets to a point where you can't just brush it off, you know? And I know it's getting to that point for a lot of people finally. You know, I'm finally getting through to a lot of people in the last couple months that finally all starting to talk about it, thank God. Because it's too fucking hard to ignore. And, you know, there's a perception of people like, oh, I'm unaffected, or there's masses of unaffected people. There's no such thing. No such thing exists. Everybody's affected. It's just a matter of if they deny it or not.
right. So yeah, there's a couple of the really interesting things to me is the fact that multiple people can remember different things. Like they can be affected by some, not the others, or remember effects at different times. Um, and that because if it was someone changing the past, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
there wouldn't really be any residue, you know.
No, no, they wouldn't.
So there's something else going on, is what I'm saying. And on top of that, the downloads. That is the
Mhm.
creepiest part of it to me.
Yeah,
Is someone can it's like that's like your mind being hijacked is what it seems like.
yeah,
Do you have
and it
any
seems
explanation?
like though, like if you're really aware of it, like I am, like, and you're highly affected, and you can recognize those updates, you know, when they come in. And for people that don't know what the updates are, what he means is like if a Mandela effect changes something, and you go to approach somebody and bring it up to them, and then in like mid sentence they'll stop what they're saying, or they'll agree with you, and then you'll say, "So no, look at," and then they'll be like, "Oh no, well it's always been that way," or they'll just start reciting like Wikipedia without looking at it, like the new way something is, and it's like they just take the update. And what I think that is because like, so I think this is a whole consciousness thing, and I think the
Yeah.
Mandela effect is caused by that. But I think these updates and these like downloads, these ridiculous backstories, I think that's coming from the other side, and that's meant to plant confusion and doubt, so we don't realize the spiritual nature of this thing, and we just brush it off and say, "Oh no, no, it's always been that way." People are misremembering, you know, it's a label change, and then they just brush it off.
Bob. Yeah, I
Perfect.
remember those days. That was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just like, dude, there's so many Mandela effects. It's like to me, it's like it's gonna reach a point where everything's going to be a Mandela effect, and we're going to start looking for things we remember that are the same as how we remembered them.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because it seems like it's an exponential scale, doesn't it?
Well, there's thousands. Like, for instance, if somebody right now picked up their Bible and hasn't looked at it in, say, 2 years, the amount that their Bible's been Mandela affected in 2 years is just, it's almost a completely different book. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the Bible one, man, because that has implications, right? You're not supposed to add or take away from God's word.
That's what they say. I don't know. I've never been very
Well,
religious myself, but I do know, some of the big ones that have changed, and it triggers people bad, dude. And they go into full-on denial mode. What they'll do is oh, no, the word of God can't change. And then it's like, well, whether you believe it's the word of God, the word of man, the word of a robot, the word of an alien, the shit that's in your book changed. From what you just told me definitely didn't change in there. And you go open it, and then what they're going to do is they go into metaphor mode, and they're just like, oh, well, this means this, and that really meant that, and this is how it's always been. And it's just like, oh, my God.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's ones that people have had big arguments about, like, you're in flat Earth. You've heard a lot of the arguments. You've heard, even if you're not in the Christian-based argument so much, you've heard the Christian-based, globe versus flat Earth arguments, and you've heard all the passages brought up in the Bible that talked about the fixed and immovable Earth and all this shit. And they also talk about, people, flat Earthers will bring up to the Globies. They'll bring up how there's no planets in the Bible, and they've said this for years.
That's
Now
right.
now there is planets in the Bible, and fortunately for me, if they're only going to be in one Bible, hey, they're in the King James, and that's what more often than not people cite. And planets are in there now. And I brought this up to people. They're not in there. Blah 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 blah. I said, go get Kings 23:5. They'll pull it out. They'll read it. Oh well, that's a metaphor for constellations. So, okay, so all these globies that you told dead in the face that planets aren't in there, if they come back to you and show you, you're going to say, oh, it's just a metaphor for constant. You're going to look like a fucking idiot. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying anybody was lying. I don't think you have a choice. Either your Bible was Mandela affected and the word planets is in there now, or you were lying this whole time to all the globies telling the planets aren't in there. Which one is it? People have to take a pick.
Damn.
Which one is it? Were you lying or were you Mandela affected? Take a pick.
Well, and here's the thing. I think we need to. I feel like there's a split with the Mandela effect and flat Earth. Like you're either into one or the other.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay. Basically, all the people I know of that produce any kind of regular content, I've never heard them talk about Mandela effect.
I'm trying to change. I'm trying my damnedest to change them.
Hopefully, this is will add a little part to that. Yeah.
I don't know why they can't do it. I do it. I make flat Earth stuff and Mandela effect stuff, 9/11 stuff. I don't know why other people can't do it. I don't know why other people don't want to connect dots or they'll box themselves in with one topic. I don't give a fuck how big you think the topic is. You can't box yourself in, especially when the dots lead you over there and you're seeing shit. Oh, no, I'm not going to talk about that because then people will think this and this and that. No, that's just letting them win. You have to put it all together. All this stuff goes hand in hand. These awakenings go hand in hand.
Yeah, you've been getting away with a lot as far as 9/11 lately.
You're like, well, I've been only putting them up on the new back channel, and pulling them right down. So don't jinx me.
Remember that show? No Emmys, stop. Press your luck.
Press your luck. Yeah.
I love that show, dude. When I was a kid.
Yeah, that show used to be cool.
Yeah. I'd watch that, and then right after that, all the infomercials would start playing. I remember.
Yeah.
Me and my brother used to love watching infomercials. I don't know why. We'd make fun of what was going on. Anyways, just a little.
Yeah, but no, the point you brought up is very true, and it aggravates the shit out of me. I get how some people are so busy maybe in one topic and they're out doing all these different things. I get that, but don't be the type that's gonna shit on people when they bring up another topic. Those are the people that drive me crazy. There's so many flat earthers I know that they're so triggered by Mandela effect. Oh, that's just a stupid psyop. Motherfucker, that's what you were telling people about the fucking flat earth 4 or 5 years ago. How do you know it's a psyop until you look? And I can fucking put out more Mandela effect proof than anybody can put out for any model of any Earth. Easily.
Yeah.
Thousands
exactly.
of proofs.
See, Mandela effect actually has proof if you think about it.
I can put out new proof pretty much every day. New proofs.
Well, the thing is, I think there's something subconsciously that keeps people from investigating it, because it's the same. All right, it's the same with this whole globies, right?
Yeah.
And to be a globie or a globetard, that doesn't mean everyone that thinks the Earth's a sphere. That means the idiots that have been involved in the flat Earth discussion for years and still think it's a ball, right? Like those are globetards.
Yeah.
Like they defend the globe. Like your mom and dad that's never heard of flat Earth, they're not globetards, they're not globies. They're just people like we were.
Yeah.
We weren't globies either. Because I tell you what, nobody that's a flat earther right now used to spend hours a day debating flat earthers. And then one day they became a flat earther. So what does that mean? That means what the fuck are we doing debating all day?
That's what I tell people. You get caught. You can't just get caught up in the fucking physical. And like, okay, you've been at this as long as me with the flat Earth stuff, right? It's been fucking 5 years, Ace. It's been 5 years. Are you only going to look at flat Earth for another 5 years? That'd be like, if I thought that way, I'd still only be talking. I'd still only be talking about 9/11, and I would have never looked at flat Earth, right? Because I should still be looking at that. That's how some of these 9/11 researchers talk to me. Like, why don't you just talk about the false flag, the fake events, and this and that? How about because I'm going to progress, motherfucker? We all need to progress. And every one of these topics I look at, whether it's talking about no deaths on 9/11 10 years ago, talking about flat Earth 5 years ago, or talking about Mandela effect the last few years, everybody's always telling me it's a psyop, Brian. It's a psyop. No, you guys are just fucking behind, man. Open your eyes.
Open your eyes. There's truth inside. Oh, wait. No, what was that? But yeah, the endless debate. Honestly, I think the powers that be are perfectly content with us debating the shape of the Earth all day long.
Of course they are.
As long as we don't ever stop to think about the implications, which the behavior of a lot of flat earthers shows to me that they have not thought about the implications of what it means to live on a flat Earth. And y'all know who you are. All you people making these hit piece videos about other people and shit, like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? The Earth is flat. It was created by somebody or something. See what I mean? Like, there's bigger shit going on than I don't know, keeping up with the Joneses and fucking shill spotting and all this other shit that goes on, slandering people.
Well, that's why I'm not even a flat earther. I'm not a Mandela effectee. I'm not a 9/11 truther. I'm none of those things because I don't want to be associated with all the assholes. And I don't want to get boxed in with certain set of fucking beliefs. And like you said, and like I've been telling people, I tell people all the time, I don't give a shit what we're standing on right now. I give a shit why we were lied to, and it's all about control and all these other agendas. That's what's important. So once you realize that the whole point of flat Earth, in my opinion, is because you realize the foundation of everything you were taught is a fucking lie. Start your journey. You know what I'm saying? Start your journey.
Yeah. You see the question. This particular, who's that? Globebusters. Globebusters.
Yeah, I got
think
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got it. Well,
go ahead.
I'll start with.
Go first.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm on the fucking phone, not the computer. Hang on.
I was like, "What are you doing? Fine."
Yeah. Okay, a lot of reasons. For one, just a basic fact of my emotions. I find it hard to believe that I'm in a simulation for the emotions that we have. Also, it's we also know that science, when you go through flat Earth, has a very clear agenda of an anti-God agenda, an anti-humanity agenda, and they want to take away your consciousness and your soul. And what is a better way to take away your consciousness and your soul and to make you feel insignificant? What is a better way to do that than tell you that you're in a simulation? And then all these same people that we know we don't trust, Neil deGrasse, Brian Cox, Elon Musk, all these people, just like they all push the other same agendas, they're all trying to push us in the direction that we're in a simulation. They're all trying to make these bold claims about CERN and leave these little clues to make us link the Mandela effect to CERN and to a simulation, because they want to take it out of our consciousness. They want to take it away from the creator. That's why I do not believe it's a simulation. But there could be some simulated shit. There's a lot of fake shit around us. We know that. Like, you know, the fake, everything in the sky, everything on TV, the food, the money, right? I'm up for the. I don't know if there's actually NPCs as people talk about it, Ace.
Yeah.
But I'm open to it. I'm on the fence. I'm open to it. But I know I'm not a simulation, in my opinion. Are there simulated people or things around us? I'm open to it because I've seen some fucked up shit, but I really don't know right now.
I would, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, first of all, we need to define simulation. To me, what simulation would mean is kind of like here on Earth. Here, let me show you. It would be something like this. Putting on a VR headset, right?
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be that extreme. See, because
no, the point is, to me, what a simulation means is you are a physical being somewhere else.
Yep.
Being avatared here or projected here, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But what that means is, let's say you cancel out this Earth that we all know, this simulation, right? Then what? You wake up as another human being somewhere else? No, I don't think so. I think that there's only consciousness, and consciousness is what is being put into our bodies, and you could call that a simulation, or I like to say a dream. It's more
or if it's a simulation, it would be like God's simulation, but not man, not machine, not a computer programmer, not these things that they try and take away our fucking soul with.
Right. So it's good to, because when you say simulation theory, you're taking the spiritual nature out of it.
Yeah.
You're just another flesh meat suit somewhere else, and we're just here in a video game essentially, but you've got if
you're a simulation, does life even have consequences? Does anything even matter? Did I lose you? I lost Ace's camera. I hope he didn't leave the stream. This is when I porn bomb his stream. All right, who wants to see the Johnson? No, I'm just kidding.
Oops. What?
You almost got porn bombed.
I did?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because I was gonna whip my prick out.
Oh, you bastard. I accidentally this new phone here.
Yeah.
The screen goes all the way to the edge. You see that? Like edge to edge.
So you can touch it easy.
So you can't, there's no way to hold it. You have to hold it like this. Like if you hold it like a normal phone, you're pressing all kinds of shit. But here.
I wish my computer worked. I don't know why I couldn't fucking connect on StreamYard. If anybody knows why, I'm being blocked like only in the last hour. Oh, feedback.
Okay.
Get a killer one. Echo. You got both streams open, man.
Yeah, I know that, but I had the speakers completely off. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I'm stupid. Oh, so Salted Cedar asked another question or whatever. He said something. He said it all comes down to whose Earth we are in and how to escape it. Do y'all really want to escape? Is it so bad here or not? Because I used to think it was bad, and I used to say, "Oh my God, I would never want to have kids in this world." I don't know.
We're being spiritually held down. we're being spiritually held down, and we're not getting the real experience that we're supposed to get. So I don't know if that means escape out of here, out of this realm, or onto the next level of existence or whatever. But I feel that maybe escape isn't the right word, maybe, but yeah, I feel we're going to take that step out soon. I do. I talk about that a lot. I think it's getting closer too. I used to think it was like 10 years out or something. Nah, I think a couple years or something, bro. Sometimes I feel closer and closer to that.
Yeah. You know, I've also been thinking that, but I don't know anymore, man. I don't think so. I think that thought of the end is nigh, right? I think that's implanted into us somehow. I'm not really sure that it is around the corner anymore. And I've only kind of thought that in the last, like, ever since the eclipse, really. Okay. Because during the eclipse or right before it, I used positive intentions and I manifested, first of all, being there to see it because my car was running on 5 cylinders. It broke a cylinder or whatever. So I didn't know I was going to get there, didn't know where I was going to stay. You know, all these things had to work. Just somehow everything fell into place. Then the weather was going to be shitty. And next thing you know, the day right before the eclipse, they're forecasting all these thunderstorms and everyone's leaving the campsite, heading out everywhere else. Even the people in our own crew were thinking, hey, it's, you know, they were like, oh my God, we're going to miss it, you know, because it's completely overcast, guys. And I'm the only one sitting there. I'm like, no, like, y'all are crazy. Like, we came to see the eclipse. That's what we're going to do. Like, I just knew it, right? Stayed positive, whatever. Then it starts opening up right before the eclipse. But there's all kinds of high wind, right? And I was with Globe Busters and a few other people, and we were launching a weather balloon. Well, we weren't going to be able to launch the weather balloon because the wind was so bad. And I'm like, y'all, stop tripping. Of course we're going to launch the balloon. And in fact, it's going to land right there in that field right next to us. So next thing you know, we're filling this balloon up and there's video of this and everything. And this thing is whipping, like touching the ground, literally. Like there's all these people around it trying to keep this fucking balloon from, I don't know, flying, whatever. It's basically like 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing around, trying to blow up a gigantic helium balloon. So we launched the thing. It skims right over a tent, like literally a centimeter. The payload like almost hit that tent. Anyways, it goes up and we're watching it on the tracking software and it's taken off. It's like going to be hundreds of miles away by time it lands. I'm like, no, it's going to be great. Everything's going to be good. I was vibing right. You know what I mean? I could feel it. I just wanted to stay positive as well. 1 second. Anyways, next thing you know, it starts tracking back, you know, towards us, whatever. We find it, no problem, like only a couple hours. And we got to see the eclipse. Completely bright, you know, full view, no clouds. Then after that, so before the eclipse, what was happening, all these people in chat rooms were like, oh, they're going to chemtrail the skies, or, oh, there's going to be weather, blah, 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 blah. All this naysaying, this negative talk. And I notice it a lot. People they're just negative Nancy's all the time. And where I really first noticed this is this guy, IPS, Infinite Plane Society, when he first came out, his whole thing was, you know, no naysaying in chat. So we had like a really high quality, productive chat room, free of people naysaying or even being hypercritical of ideas, right? No talking shit, none of these things. And when you would leave that atmosphere and you'd go to like normal live streams, you would notice extra because you weren't exposed to it for so long. You would notice how just regular people, even nice people, just they say negative things, like critical, naysaying essentially. So I decided to cut it out, and it made the whole eclipse thing happen. It was great. Then after that, I kept up this whole positive thinking kind of manifestation type of a mindset, and all this like magical stuff started happening in my life. Like, got a new car. Like, I need, my car was busted. I got a new car for 1/10 of what it's worth. you know,
Mm-hmm.
I got a raise at work immediately for no reason. Then I started kind of not liking that job. I worked for literally probably the Antichrist beast matrix company of all companies. They produce the 5G chips that go in your phone. So I was like working on these machines that make silicon wafers that, they make parts that go in your chips. Anyways, I didn't like it anymore. I felt wrong being there. Well, next thing you know, I went out on a limb and I heard about this opening at this other company. One of those places where people, once they get a job there, they stay there for like 30 years till they retire, and there's never any job openings. Somehow magically I get in. Just no problem, right? Then got a raise. I mean, all these other good things just started happening when I cut out all that negative thinking. And I'm not exactly sure how we got on this subject, but yeah, there is a lot of, dude, we manifest our reality more than anyone could ever know. And I think the Mandela effect it's related in some way, right?
Yeah.
So here's an example. You're out drinking with friends at a bar, right? And let's say you're not drunk, but you had like 3 or 4 margaritas. You're good to drive, you are, but you're probably maybe a little over the limit, right? So what are you thinking on the way home? You're like, oh my God, I hope I don't get pulled over. I don't want a DUI, blah, 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 right? What happens? You see like 20 cop cars on the way home. In fact, it's like Agent Smith took over and made every other car a fucking cop car. I've seen it myself. I know this phenomena. So the thing is, your fear has manifested a reality for you, which is cop cars all over the place. Not saying you get arrested that night, but the point is, so fear is actually a bigger manifester than that whole positive shit that they teach you in The Secret. That stuff's wrong. The Secret, it's mainstream. Of course it's not right. They're not going to teach people how to really manifest. How you really manifest is what they're doing to us with the news and the fake events.
Yeah, that's why I tell people there's all these people, like, say, people, now I'll take a shot at people in the Mandela community. They'll be like, oh, well, I know my reality's changing. I know 9/11's an inside job. Why do I need to go look at that? Because you're still pushed by the fear of it, motherfucker. And imagine if we are manifesting our reality and they're pumping all this fear into you that you're accepting as reality. Well, look what we're talking about here. What's their reality gonna be?
Right. So another thing, have you ever noticed maybe you yourself or there's other people that you've ridden with in a car, and it always seems like they're getting cut off? They're always like, oh, motherfucker. And they're always, it's like they're in a like, okay, just an example. This guy I worked with when I was doing construction. It's Friday. We're leaving Estes Park. We're trying to get to the bank, right? Cash checks. Next thing you know, it's like everyone and their mom is driving as slow as possible. Then all these people are stopped in the middle of the road. Like you couldn't go around or nothing. And they are all standing out of their cars. We're like, what the fuck are they looking at? We look over and it was a mountain lion. Apparently they're kind of rare to see. And they were like taking pictures of this mountain lion. So we like go off into the dirt, literally like scraping the
the mountain itself, trying to squeeze past all these cars. Then we're speeding, and next thing you know, we just keep getting behind slow people. Bam, getting cut off. And this dude is losing his shit. He's like, anyways, so these are just things I noticed. But every time I ride with this guy, it's the same story. He's always getting cut off. He's always got somebody slow in front of him in the left lane. And he's like, there's laws. Well, the thing is, I never get cut off. I just don't. I don't have I just don't have bad experiences driving anymore because I don't care anymore, and I'm not usually in a hurry, and I don't have that mindset. And I swear to you, there's something like he's manifesting it. So at work, right? I'm a technician. I fix these big machines. There are certain people that when they're in, it's like the machines they're around break. And they don't just they break in a way that causes you a lot of work. And you're just like, fuck, you know? And I'm telling you, when they're not there and it's just a couple cool people like on a night shift or something, right? It's like everything just runs smooth. There is something to this whole thing with manifestation. We are more powerful than they've ever told us. You know, that's the big secret. They don't want us to.
That's one of the biggest secrets is our potential. They're trying to hold us down. We're unlocking more senses now. I believe they're obviously trying to hide that, and ultimately, what they're trying to do is hold us down from our collective consciousness, from all connecting with each other. That's what my big thing is. That's what they're really trying to do. And and on top of that, the bigger picture is, if you think about it, you can relate this back to flat Earth. I mean, everything they do is always got to be an equation for it or something. It can never be anything spiritual, and that's what their big thing is. It's always to hide the spiritual side of everything.
True.
That's what I think. That's what I think the chemtrails are as well. And I do think they have other purposes, like for uses in the sky, masking things in the sky, projecting on things like this that we all probably talked about for a few years now. But I think that what they're doing now, first of all, they're not doing it to kill us all. I'm not saying they're good for you. I'm not saying there's no side effects. But the reason they're doing it isn't to kill us all. If that was true, besides how it wouldn't make any sense because they'd be spraying themselves. But if that was true, the entry level shit, like when you hear about Tower 7 and you hear about Gulf of Tonkin, and you got people like Jesse Ventura, Joe Rogan, and Alex Jones telling you chemtrails are there to poison you, you're going to still run with that now? Like, you're still going to run with that? That's not what it is. That's the fear that they try and spin you down, and
Dude,
they're trying to keep you in the physical, and it's a spiritual battle. And I think the stuff they're putting in the air, whatever the fuck it is to impede our connection, our frequencies from interacting with each other and hold us down.
There you go. I got another story about the chemtrails. I swear to you, I don't see chemtrails anymore. I haven't seen them for like 2 years since the eclipse. Really? I'm telling you, I cut it all off. I'm under the impression right now we are created. We are like children of God. Okay? Every religion, that's essentially what they're all saying. We're all children of God. Well, would I want my child to unfairly be all fucked up? No. You know? So the thing is, to me, like, we don't have the outside perspective, that bird's eye view, like, say, God does, right? Where he knows the whole beginning from end and everything that's going on. There's some kind of tests and trials or whatever, but this is essentially like learning to walk. You know, it's going to be a little difficult, but you can't have your hand held the whole time or you'll never learn how to do it.
No, you'll never learn it.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're vitamins or whatever. I'm just saying, here's a theory. They could literally be just fog machines just to fuck with truthers.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it another way. I think it's actually different. I don't even think that most of the planes that are spraying are even planes. From all the footage I've been looking at, a lot of those things are transparent. And then I've done a video where I've shown a lot of them being orbs in the sky that turn into planes. So, you know, you're left with two options at this point. Let's talk about it for a minute. So you left with more than two options, but two quick things you'll think of. Okay, how about this? We all know about Project Bluebeam, right? We've talked about it for years. Everybody's a flat earth. What if it was, and I've talked about it forever, right? But how easy was that information to get? It was pretty easy. Now, here's my spin on it, right?
Too easy.
What if that information was leaked for this reason, right? So we think Operation Bluebeam, right? We're telling everybody fake alien invasion, blah, 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 blah. But they got it in our head now, Ace, right? As most of the flat earth community, right? If you look up and you see something like that, like I'm talking about, orbs, holograms, whatever, you're going to think that's a NASA deception and a blue beam. If the Globies look up and see that, they're going to think it's alien deception, right? In reality, what if it's demonic entities, a spiritual thing, and they're masking it with this fucking bullshit and this whole fake chemtrail conspiracy, keeping you in the physical while this spiritual war is going on above. It could be that too. I don't know, but I'm kind of leaning that way now. Because here's the thing, when you just look at it, even without saying, well, Brian, how are you going to jump from it being holograms to demons? Well, here's the thing. So you look up, you see orbs, you see what looks like holograms, or what looks like, I may be saying demons or entities, whatever it is, right? But if it's holograms, right, how the fuck's it leaving a chemtrail?
Well, exactly. And I'll tell you how it could be, right? So how it could be is they're using like some kind of phased array electromagnetic frequency to literally activate parts of the sky.
Yeah. Well, I've said this. I've postulated before I got into this might be demons when I was kind of developing my chemtrail theory. I also said, what if they're using frequency weapons, like we know they probably do? What if they're using frequency weapons and whatever charge they're putting through the sky is going to make some sort of ripple that would look like something like a chemtrail would look, so they overlay a fucking holographic plane over it to cover it up. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. I don't know. It's certainly not fucking what people think chemtrails are there for. It's much deeper, and it's definitely on a spiritual level for me.
Right. It's anything but what they think they are.
I can't ignore the orbs, bro. I did like a 3-hour video where I showed like 30 different footages of those orbs transforming into planes right in front of you, and the videos weren't fake. Like, dude, if there's anything I've ever done and would consider myself an expert at, it's literally looking at videos of planes to see if they're fake videos. Like, that's literally what I did for years. And seeing videos that they don't look like they're fake videos. I don't know what the fuck's going on up there. But that's the thing too. Like, we can't.
No, I've seen the orb with my own eyes, dude. Oh, I got another one for you. Keep going. Remind me.
Well, I was going to say the thing with Mandela effect that's a lot different than me for flat Earth. That what I like a lot better about it is, okay, people can't even say this isn't true. When you get deep into flat Earth, there's a lot of things you don't want to talk about with other people because they already think you're nuts with the flat Earth stuff. You know you got a lot of facts on your side, and you're trying to keep things in the physical. But then you get stuck in that trap of keeping things in the physical. Now with the Mandela effect, right? And let's not just talk about Mandela and flat Earth, but like, because I'm going through the Mandela effect and I'm talking openly about these supernatural changes, right? And things changing in the past and human behavior changing and nature. Now when there's a supernatural phenomenon that happens, or if I want to talk about an old ghost story in my haunted house, I'm not afraid to come out and say those things. Whereas a year or 2 years ago, when I wasn't out here on doing YouTube videos about Mandela effect and I'm just mostly talking flat Earth, I'm probably not going to tell those ghost stories. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Dude, I'm a totally different person since 5 years ago. Totally different. And the main takeaway is I'm always happy now, for the most part.
Yeah, me
almost
too.
Always. I can't even imagine being depressed anymore. Like laying in bed depressed for like a month at a time. You know what I mean? Like how a lot of people, they have little bouts of that. Or I'm more even keeled. And I've been working on that kind of spiritual development for a long time, I kind of feel like I earned it, actually. But there is something with, like, flat earthers are just
more positive people. I don't know how to describe it. But no, back to the sky real quick.
Yeah.
This one, man, I can't figure this out. Like, so the only, okay. There are, have you ever looked up and you see what looks like a star? Okay,
Yeah.
it's about the same brightness as a star. And it's just moving across the screen.
Ace, did you not see my video I did fucking 2 days ago?
No, I guess
Oh
not.
my god, the video is literally about the red orbs that came up across the way across the park from me, dude. I did the whole video about this. The latest video I
No.
did, right?
Awesome.
I know you can't see them all, but I'm gonna just funny you bring it up because I just did my video about this. Go look at the thumbnail. It's showing a red orb. It's not my camera. I was on Discord with everybody talking, right? I thought my camera was recording. I was still in Discord. They're hearing me commentate on a video that's not even recording. And these red orbs that came up like this, just up over the trees. I just told everybody. And they fucking just like that, dude. Real slow, methodical, over to the right. And I even said in the video, it's like when you take a P900 and look at the stars and they're flickering, but not quite as pronounced of a flicker. And it was red. And they all went the same pattern, slow, over to the right. And then there were 5 of them in a row that did almost the exact same thing. I'm not going to say they're all the exact, but they took the same path, about the same height, and they were going very slow. And in fact, there were airplanes that flew by, so I could use as a frame of reference. And if the airplanes are doing the speed we think, you know, and I think they might be a little slower than we're told, but if they're doing 500, 400, 600, these things were doing like 20 miles an hour, bro. They were just like coasting across the sky. This was like 3 nights ago, dude. This was like 3 nights ago. It's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And you know what else is fucked up? And she's here in the chat. Gloria just sent me this big, huge fucking crystal. And I never used nothing like that. There's no bullshit, dude. I don't believe in coincidences. I'm sorry. And I wore this on my neck. And I've had it on for like not even an hour, dude. I'm on the porch. And then I see these orbs come up in the sky.
Nice. Check out this crystal. Look
Nice.
at that, eh?
Nice.
It's a double terminated pyramid. There's a specific name that's I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, so here's the thing. The thing with the weird little lights in the sky, right? I've pointed these out to people real time. Like my brother, for instance.
They don't see him.
I live with. No, he sees it. But he's like, oh, that's just a satellite. I'm like, dude. I said, dude, it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. What's lighting the satellite up?
A satellite.
Yeah.
The sun reflecting off of it. I'm like, bro, satellites are only a couple hundred miles up.
Yeah, the sun's reflecting under it.
So look, and I learned a long time ago, I don't even try to give hints anymore. Nothing. We interact like NPCs. I turn down the NPC level. I don't want to fucking hear him. Now I'll be walking around the kitchen cooking or whatever, playing some truth YouTube videos, you know, the volume up, and he's down there. So he's hearing the shit. Anyways, the thing with the dude, there's something weird with my camera. I can't like get it. Whatever. Who cares? Okay. There was one night, and I've seen these for years now. I don't see them every night, but sometimes it's like a star just moving slowly across the sky, and it'll keep going all the way till you can't see it anymore. Sometimes they keep going and then they just fizzle out, like it turns off the light. Well, one night I was in the hot tub and doing what I like to do is I just lay there looking up, and I'll close my eyes for a while to get like light adjusted, right? Darkness adjusted. And I open them up and bam, like the stars are fucking. I live in Colorado and more out in the country, so I have a good night sky. I can see the Milky Way, no problem, right? So I'm looking at the stars. Hey, it's 11:11 if you live in the central time zone.
There you go.
Whatever. I just noticed that. Anyways, all right. So one night, after I asked God for a sign in the sky, which I do a lot, and every time I do, I feel guilty because I always get a sign, usually, or sometimes I won't get a
feel like
sign.
you're wasting this fucking time.
I know. I'm like, dude, I know you're there. I know, you're right here, and I'm just being stupid. I don't know. I just want to see something cool, I guess. And then, pew, a shooting star, right, or whatever. And I love doing it because it usually works. I recommend if you've never asked for a sign like that, try
No,
it.
I have. No, I have. Yeah. No, I have. And in fact, I just saw what Brenda said in the chat a minute ago. When she goes out and looks up, and then she just starts to see tons of activity. This was like this. I went out the night after I saw the orbs, and I'm trying to provoke it again. Dude, it was so profound that like I left. I was out here just chatting with everybody on the porch like I do when I smoke and stuff, and I left and I just walked towards it across the field. But I tried to come back out again last night or the night before. Didn't see the same thing, but I look up and it's like. And they look like planes. I'm not saying they weren't planes. I think they were probably planes. There was one or two I couldn't tell if it was a plane or something weird. But there was just so much activity. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I seen like 15 fucking planes in the matter of like 3 or 4 minutes, all different directions and different heights over me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Fucking crazy.
Yeah. All right. Let me finish real quick. So that night in the hot tub, I start seeing moving stars, is what I call them. And it was like midnight, 1 o'clock, somewhere in between there. Well, I saw so many, I started counting them, right? Well, I started counting them after I already saw a lot of them moving. Dude, I'm talking, and these things, you can't just glance and see them. You have to like look up and you have to look at a stationary star or something and reference it because they're usually just going, oh, look, ha. But yeah, they're like, dude, I counted up to like 40 before I stopped counting. And then the hot tub turned off. And that's only a 15-minute cycle. So in 15 minutes, I literally saw probably 60, 70 moving things in the sky. Dude, it looked like the sky was crawling. I thought I was having like a acid flashback or something, but I'm not, because it's not like they're just moving like that. They move and they keep moving. And it didn't matter where I looked. If I looked up this way, I would see stars going that way. Every once in a while, these things, they'll be going straight and then they make a hook, like they kind of curve and deviate path. So what are we looking at? Is that like air traffic of some kind of advanced technology? Like, dude, all right,
man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
So another thing, you reminded me. So you said you were trying to provoke these orbs, right? Well, check this out. So 11, 12, 10 years ago, I don't remember when, before I had my big awakening spiritually, me and my cousin, we used to watch all the UFO videos, right? Like, the space tether incident, the one where it looks like a laser beam being shot up at a UFO from Earth, all that shit. All right, there was this one video of this like black, like Jamaican type dude, and they have a news team, and they're out in the field, broad daylight, and this guy's talking about how he can make UFOs appear. And he goes out there and he says, something, something, Elohim, give us a sign in the sky. And
about, this guy.
Yeah, you've seen it. And then like 30 seconds later, there's like little orbs fucking shooting around.
And then he talks them away after too, right? He talks them away after too, right? Yeah, I've seen him.
All right, so check this out. So then All right. This is great. So that's what gave me the idea when I was having my spiritual awakening and I was seeing a lot of signs. I remembered that and I asked, I said, God, can you give me a sign in the sky? Bam! Fucking activity, dude. Like orbs, shooting stars, and moving stars, like all at the same time. I was like, whoa. I was like, hell yeah, thanks, dude. That's fucking cool. And like at that point, I wasn't even surprised. Well, one night during the height of, like, I felt very, very connected. I felt like one with the universe at this time in my life, like vibrating super high. Kundalini awakening is what it's usually called, or your third eye opening. And it makes you have cool synchronicities and weird experiences. Anyways, I'm in a backyard with 12 people. There was literally 12 people. And we were kind of like having a little hangout, get together. I just showed up, at a friend's house. I didn't know half these people. Anyways, I have the idea, and my cousin was with me. My cousin was having an awakening too. Very, very, the kind of awakening that'll put you in a psych ward if you talk too much about what's going on, right? Anyways, I tell the people, I was like, hey, we can make the stars move. Like, what do you mean? I says, well, the Bible says the stars are for signs and seasons. And I was like, all right, I'm going to, I'll do it. But if y'all want it to work, like, you can't be afraid. They're not UFOs. It's not going to come get you. There's nothing to be scared about, right? Whatever. It's just a sign from God. And they're like, okay, like, fucking, what the fuck are you on about, dude? So I go out there and I don't remember my exact words, but I was like, hey, God, can you show us a sign? And dude, it took like 3 minutes to kick in. And when you're looking for something, that's a long time, I was kind of feeling like, damn, I sound like an idiot right now. Right when I felt my worst, right? Where I was like, it's not going to work. What the hell was I thinking? Someone's like, oh, what the hell is that? Pew, like a star shooting across the sky. Next thing you know, everyone's pointing out fucking like stars moving and different things. One of them went like out into deep space. Like it didn't even move sideways. And it made that blue spiral too.
Yeah.
All right. The trippiest one for me though was the Big Dipper. You know how it has the pan and the handle? The like bottom left star of the pan just starts going off and off and off all the way to the horizon. And the whole night, it wasn't there anymore. When you look at the fucking Big Dipper, there's no star. So what do? The next day, I told my dad about the stars moving and shit. And I was like, yeah, the Big Dipper star isn't there anymore and shit. And of course, it was back the next day. Dude, I had a quick wake-up call. I had to learn how to moderate what you say to fucking people in real life, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's just a quick story about, dude, asking for signs is great, man. It just puts you back in touch, I don't know.
Well, it's like you said, you told them there's nothing to be scared of. And like
right.
When I saw those red orbs coming up, and I know there's been people messaging me all types of shit, and it's demonic, and you're letting demons in with putting that crystal on your neck and all this shit. And then it's like but when they're coming up, I'm just like chilling, dude. I'm just like looking at them, and it's like there's nothing that's gonna scare me. You know what I mean? Like they can't show me nothing that's gonna scare me at this point. I'm ready for whatever, and I'm just like watching it. I'm observing it because it's fascinating, but there's absolutely nothing to be scared of. Nothing at all. Then there's this one particular star that I always feel is that I know is watching me. I don't know what the name of the star is. I don't use like the star app on my phone. I know it's pretty lazy of me. I should just install it and take a look up there. But it's the one star is up here, this direction. So that would be my west and back a little bit towards the south, but mostly west, right up there in the sky. There's one star that when I go outside, that motherfucker's looking at me, and I've tried to talk to it, but it's never said anything back.
What do you
And
mean
I've
looking
even
at you?
said,
How would you tell it's looking at you?
just like when you can feel somebody staring at you in a room.
Yeah,
like,
I got you. Oh, hey, you wanna? I got one about that. The people staring at you thing, right? Sorry. So another thing, I was into like looking up. See, I was damn near an atheist before this awakening because I was raised Catholic and I got put off. I was doing confirmation when I was 16. And halfway through it, something happened. I asked a question, and they had this event where like bishops and cardinals were even there, right? And you could ask a question, you write it on a note card. My question was, so what happens to the people like that are in an isolated tribe in Africa? They've never heard of the Bible, they've never heard of Jesus or any of that, right? Do they go to heaven or hell?
Yeah.
He said they go to hell if they haven't accepted the whatever. I was like,
I had this conversation the other day with a few weeks ago. I was on a show, and one of the other people that was on there was kind of like the side host, not really the person interviewing me. That conversation came up because they're hardcore into the Bible and stuff. And they told me that, anybody that doesn't find God is going to go to hell. So I stopped it right there. I got very specific about it. And I'm trying to be open. I'm not religious, but I'm trying to reach out. Right. He literally had me on to talk about the Bible, knowing that I've never read the Bible. So, and I was willing to do it, okay? Because I trust Mike. He's a good host, Awake and Sane. When I was on his show, the other person that was on was like, oh, well, if you don't realize that there's God, then you're going to go to hell. And I used a couple examples. I said, so let me get this right. If there's a mother caring for all these kids, let's say she even helps out disabled kids, all sorts of shit. She's so fucking busy and tied down with that. And through no fault of her own, she's indoctrinated through everything, through the TV and the system, like everything else. And she's been told that there is no God, and she hasn't come to that realization yet. Not because she denied God, but because she hasn't come to that realization yet. This person's going to hell? I was told yes. And then I said, so also, before I started this spiritual awakening in the last few years, let's go back 9 years, when I was just looking at 9/11. But I was busting my ass to show everybody the fucking truth and putting my neck on the line. I was a good person. If I got in a car accident and died, I would have went to hell. I was told yes. I said, well, I don't want any fucking part of what goes on then. You know what I mean? If that's the case.
Yeah. So the thing was, I was almost like atheist, right? Yeah. Pretty much, I wouldn't like debate anyone or whatever. I just was seriously questioning it, right? Get that off my screen. So I was dating a chick, she was definitely secular, I guess they'd call it, like not religious, not really a believer in God. But halfway through our relationship, we lived together for like 3.5 years and we were engaged at one point, right? She wanted to become Jewish. What the fuck? Whoever wants to become Jewish, right? I can't remember why, but she actually read a book out loud to me called Ishmael. It's about a talking monkey talking to a guy, and it's about civilization and the whole agricultural revolution and the lock and key system where they like divvy stuff out, and it's all about control, like what's wrong with society. Well, right after that, one day, somebody, I don't remember who, gave her a book called Glennis Has Your Number. And this was a book about numerology. And it breaks it all down. And I'm not talking about all the shit people talk about on YouTube with, oh, it's a 33 or, 666, gematria and all that. I'm talking about like what your number means. Like you could tell me your birthday and I could tell you more about yourself than you might have even known, No kidding. By the way, we should do that later. Anyway, so this book, I was not superstitious at all.
right? So I barely believed in God to begin with. Did not believe in ghosts. I thought horoscopes were stupid. In fact, I think that's the purpose of horoscopes in magazines, is to discount astrology.
Yeah, of course it is.
It seems stupid, right?
To dumb it
Anyway,
down and make everything seem blur all the lines between everything, make it all vague.
Yeah. So Glennis has your number, right? We start doing these numerology charts, and there's actually like 6 numbers that make up your whole chart, like based on your name, your birthday, the day you were born, different things, right? And it's so spot on. I couldn't believe it. And it was spot on about her, and it was spot on about our relationship when you do a compatibility chart, right? So, we were in our early 20s. I don't know how old I was. I was in my like early to mid 20s. She was her early 20s, right? So we were going to like house parties and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Hanging out with people that play beer pong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, we'd be at these parties, and there'd be like 60, 70 people there, and a bunch of bros in the garage, of course, playing beer pong. And then like 6 chicks and like 6 dudes at the kitchen table playing these weird drinking games with cards, like Waterfalls, one of them. Anyways, you know what I mean? Completely mindless shit. Well, me and her would sit there doing numerology charts for people. We'd be like asking them their birthday and shit. Next thing you know, by the end of the night, like more than half of the entire party is gathered around the table, all like, oh, and my birthday's this, and you know what I mean? Everyone, this is the kind of shit people are really interested in. This is the real shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, dude, I've done hundreds of charts for people, like numerology stuff. And it's always spot on. Everyone is always blown away with the kind of shit. Like, there's certain people, they tell me their birthday, and the first thing I say is, oh, I bet you're the kind of person that has just cash laying beside the bed on the ground. And they're like, what? How would you know that? You're like, yeah, I even have cash in an ashtray, just like wadded up. Like, because there's something. So that was the first inkling that gave me the idea there was something to this place, right? So if we're all just a cosmic accident, atheist, godless Big Bang, right?
Yeah.
How could I tell you anything based on your birthday?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You wouldn't be able to. Nothing. Right? Everything is so everything disproves that.
And that was before my spiritual awakening. That was like, say, 6 months, 8 months before it. So all these things kind of coalesced. I was also reading a book called DMT, the Spirit Molecule, which talks about the pineal gland and DMT and all this. I was like, ooh, I want to open my third eye. By the way, I don't really recommend doing that, but hey, I don't not recommend it either. If you're trying to live, if you have like a wife and kids and a job, like, and you're trying to open your third eye, man, you're in for a fucking rude awakening. I'll tell you what, you're going to be unemployed. You ain't going to have a fucking family anymore. And you're probably going to have to be fighting for visitation rights. Like, that's kind of, it just happens, man. When you try to step up to the next level, a lot of people, they're just comfortable, dude. Like, you know what? A husband and wife been working in the steel mill 30 years. The wife, she's a nurse, right? And they come home and they watch Wheel of Fortune. And then they have their fucking macaroni on Thursday and fried chicken on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same. No one's going up or down. And that's a happy marriage, right? But now, if I'm trying to advance spiritually and you're trying to just chill at this level and I'm trying to climb up to this level, well, what's going to happen is you're going to fucking pull me down like a crab in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. If someone is not actively trying to raise in vibration or frequency, you cannot raise them. That's why spitting truth at people and all this shit, it does not work. Like, they have to want to do it on their own. Then, of course, you can teach them everything they'd ever want to know because they're willing to learn it. But that's why a lot of people blame Flat Earth on like ruining families, right? They're like, oh, Flat Earth ruined my family. My wife wants to get a divorce now and all this. I'm like, no, it wasn't Flat Earth. Like, you're advancing spiritually and she ain't trying to have that. She's trying to bring you back down here.
Yeah.
And you see it so much. You see.
No, I would never be able to do it. That's why I'm just happy being single. I couldn't deal with that, dude.
Well, it goes with other relationships in your life too, though.
Oh, well, of course.
It goes with all relationships, friendships, acquaintances. Every time you go up to a new level, you're going to meet new people and you're going to lose other people. But then you think, just because I advanced to this level, here's another secret. I advanced to this level. Like, hey, we're on the same page. We know the Earth's flat and there's a Mandela effect. But sometimes people get content at that level.
Yeah.
Then you're trying to go up again. And next thing you know, it's like, wait a minute, I thought these people were on the same page as me. Like, they know the Earth's flat. They're down with the Mandela effect. I thought we were friends. And now it's like they don't want to have anything to do with me.
Yeah.
That's their defense mechanism because they're not ready for more yet.
No.
They're not trying to advance. So you can only have a relationship with someone that's either on your same level or advancing at the same pace as you. So that's why a lot of truthers are single.
Yeah. Oh, I feel you. I can't say I couldn't even imagine because, like, I can't even go out in like a public place now because I can't deal with the fake social scene and pretend that I'm interested in conversations. Right. And it's like, you talk to people and their eyes glaze over. Well, it's almost not even fair saying that because they talk to me. My eyes probably fucking glaze over too. I don't give a fuck about what they're talking about. So I couldn't imagine having that under the same roof as me. I mean, I already deal with it with family members under the roof. I couldn't sleep in the same bed with somebody that's just not interested in waking. It'd be great if they had like different topics, like if they were into research and medical fraud, and I'm into flat Earth, or they're into this and I'm into that, and we kind of put everything together. That'd be perfect. But somebody that just wants to be asleep and just stay in the system and watch TV and fuck, I'm all set, dude. That'd be like a fucking anchor on my fucking ankle, bro. I can't read that. It'd be like.
It's all good. I wasn't trying to have you even read it.
Oh.
It just says 133.
Oh, okay.
It's just random. It changes every time I turn it on. It was 133. That's all. But no, yeah, that's another thing. Like, how could you want to be with someone that isn't into you, right? Or into all these things.
That point. Why would I force myself? Why would I force myself to do that if they're not into the same stuff at all? Like, if they're not into seeking truth, and if they can, how about this? If they can just accept being lied to and they don't give a fuck, I can't live with them. They hate themselves.
That makes me also wonder, how can people have sex with hookers and go to Asian massage parlors also?
I don't know.
Like, how could you literally have sex with a chick that doesn't like you, like I don't know. I don't get it. But that's a thing. Oh, so that's another topic we could talk about. The whole porn. No, the whole over sexualization of society. They've made it so easy to get access to any kind of fetish or porn you could ever imagine. They promote like masturbating every single day, right? Like, if you talk to people about like, hey, I stopped masturbating. I no longer want to waste my semen, right? Like I've had even girls tell me, they're like, "Oh, that's not healthy. Like you're supposed to masturbate every day. It's like healthy for your prostate." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like if it was healthy for your prostate, no guy would ever have prostate cancer." Right? But so that's another thing. So what it does, I really think that there's some kind of like power that's involved with retaining semen. Okay. And that most people are, if your phone was a if your body was a battery, like a phone, your battery, everyone's battery would be at like 3%, like critically low, because they never let it charge up.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And there's another thing. And so that keeps you grounded and materialistic. Another thing that keeps you grounded and materialistic is food. They tell you to eat 3 square meals a day and this and that, right?
Yeah.
There's this whole other mode. So when you're eating food, your body utilizes an energy called blood sugar, right? Mm-hmm. And then people end up with diabetes and shit like that. Well, there's another whole source of energy that's called ketones, or being in what's called ketosis. And the only way to get there is to fast for at least 14 hours. Mm-hmm. So once you have not had food for like 14 to even 18 hours for some people, your body starts burning its own fat for fuel. And once it starts doing that, you actually don't really get that hungry anymore. Mm-hmm. So what happens is when you're fasting, your body's using these things called ketones, which is a completely different source of energy. You're no longer wasting all your energy in digestion, which is up to 80% of your body's energy is used in the whole digestive process. So if you cut that out for a few days, you're going to notice your mind is sharper. You have, okay, here's a good question. Have you ever woke up, you didn't eat breakfast, you went to work, and then it's like you even skipped lunch? Or okay, so right about before lunch, you're pretty energetic, you know what I mean? You're like, so last time you ate was like 6 p.m. the night before. Now it's noon the next day, and you're at work and you're kind of in a good mood. You've got energy, you know, da 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 da. Next thing you know, you eat lunch, and what happens? It's like you want to fucking take a nap.
Yeah.
You feel slow and heavy. That's what I'm talking about. So the longer you go without eating, the more that energy you get, and it raises your ambition. Like you're wanting to like do shit and make a change and all these other things. The same with the whole over-sexed, over-masturbated society, right? It kills your ambition. Like what happens when a dude, you know, finally gets off, right? He's having sex, you know, bam,
go to sleep.
Get off. You're like, oh, okay, whatever, not interested. Yeah, and you become a pussy too. You're like more emotional, you know what I mean? Like your estrogen spikes, all these other things. So these are just things to look at. I don't know why I even brought them up, but they're over. So what, like, think about all the movies. Like when you're in high school, there's always a movie about getting laid before prom. It's like it's a group of 4 guys and their whole mission is we got to get laid before prom. And think about the first chick you ever had sex with. You probably did it because you felt like you had to, most likely. Well, at least I did. And I know a lot of other people that are like that. Like they probably wouldn't have if it wasn't programmed into you, right? I really did. I don't even
I was
remember.
Mooney Bassett. I
don't remember her name. And I remember right beforehand, like she went in the bedroom and I'm like chugging hard liquor. I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this. Like, I really felt like I had to get, like, no one wants to be a virgin when they're like, 35 years old or whatever. Right? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
I was 13.
Oh, wow, dude, get out of here.
Yeah, I was young.
No
So
shit.
I was a horny bastard.
Wow. You weren't scared or anything when you're 13? You're just like, damn.
I was like a jackrabbit, dude.
Wow, man. Hopefully you're practicing safe horniness now. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I think I was like 19. I felt like too old. It was after high school. And then come to find out, after high school, I found out all these chicks in high school wanted to fuck me. I was like, well, why didn't you say something?
And you found out the girl you lost your virginity to at 19 already been gangbanged like 6 times before you.
Oh, that's another thing. I've never had sex with a virgin in my life.
No.
I was close once. She had sex one single time before with one other guy. And anyways, but hopefully this is good entertainment for you guys. This is good times. I'm having fun. Hopefully you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of wanted to just rapid fire a couple of the top Mandelas, you think?
Okay. My top ones?
Yeah, just like, okay, for me it'd be like Publishers Clearinghouse, the James Bond movie with Dolly and Jaws. She used to have braces, now she doesn't.
Yeah.
Berenstein Bears, of course. The Statue of Liberty has changed positions. South America is moved over like 1,000 miles. Italy is all crooked and looks like a stiletto instead of a boot. Canada has a giant chunk taken out of it. Cuba is like 10 times the size as it used to be.
It's gigantic, and it keeps moving west too. It keeps stretching towards Mexico, which is curling up like this now. The Baja California is all longer. Everything's changed in the geography. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, just list some off.
I go to South America when I go to bring out the big guns. I bring out South America and the Panama Canal because the Panama Canal, because the South America has moved like 1,000 miles over to the east, over near Africa, where the tip of Central America used to come down into the top of South America. It's now hitting the west side of it. So the Panama Canal is like this now, rather than east-west. It's almost north-south. It's got a little bit of an angle to it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking really crazy. JFK is always a big one with people. I see Truth Seekers in the chat. She must have fucking filmed 300 different veterans and asked them how many people in the car, and they all say 4. Many of them named the exact 4 people in the car. Now there's 6, and that's been that JFK thing, man. That's a good one to do because that thing just keeps changing. So that's where you can throw out some other ideas of what's happening. Maybe I'll save that for a little later, but it can't just be one shift or one jump because these things are changing incrementally. Black Tom's my number one because I came through 9/11 research. If anybody out there doesn't know what Black Tom is, then
Black Tom's pretty big.
Yeah, because we were always told that 9/11 was the second foreign attack on U.S. soil. Pearl Harbor was the first. Told this in every 9/11 documentary, all the footage after, all growing up. But now there's Black Tom. Black Tom, the Statue of Liberty was damaged so bad when they blew off 100,000 pounds of TNT, killed 5 people, injured 120, caused what would be like 500 million in damage today, and damaged the Statue of Liberty so bad nobody's ever been to the torch, except I've talked to so many people that have been to the torch, dude.
Man, real quick, it's this guy Ronan the Voice. Here, let me post his comment. See, he's the one ruining it for everyone else. Like, see, you had 5 virgins. That's like 4 other dudes that don't get to
hoarding all the broads over there.
You asshole.
Did you have all 5 of them? Did you have all 5 of them at once, though? That's the question.
Oh, could you imagine? Oh, has anyone ever had more than 1 virgin at the same time? I don't. Man, that sounds rare. Like, it could be done. I could pull it now, but I don't want to. Like that. Like, how are you gonna have sex with some normie dumb bitches? when you have Jedi mind tricks, you know?
Right.
Like, dude, I feel like it's unfair now. It's like cheating. It's like, I don't know, man. Anybody here, like you or I could easily pull all the hottest chicks in a bar. No shit. Like if we went out.
I have no interest in going to the bar to do it though. That's the only problem.
Huh?
I just have no interest in doing it though.
Right. Me neither. Yeah. I know what you mean. I'm just
10 years ago.
exactly. Once you have the ability, you don't have the interest anymore. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, the other big ones is you know, for me, C3PO having the fucking silver leg is ridiculous. Mirror, mirror on the wall always gets everybody. Everybody knows it's mirror, mirror on the wall. Now it's always been magic mirror. I like ones that show human behavior, like Timmy in the Well. We all know Timmy in the Well from Lassie, and Lassie ran to town to go get help. And now Timmy's never fell in the well. But if you go on YouTube, I mean, you'll see endless parodies of people acting out these scenes with their own dogs, making their dog bark and saying, "What's that, Lassie? Timmy's in the well." So how do people just convolute these things that never happened and all do it all around the world and do it the same? No, we're not crazy. This stuff used to exist. Ed McMahon definitely worked for Publishers Clearinghouse, brought big checks. In fact, Ed McMahon is the number one. You know, he's not my number one. He's like my number 3, but you know, I always ask everybody what their number one is, and there's nothing that's even come close to as many number one answers as Ed McMahon. And he's from here. He's from my hometown. Everybody knows he had the big checks and the balloons, dude. But now it's never happened.
Yeah, in the fucking minivan. Or it was a regular size van, I guess. But, someone asked if I was a boy or a girl. Hold on, wait. What is that?
Tell them you're in between.
Not me. Hold on. California Glass. Someone asked if I was a boy or a girl and if he could suck me off. I was like, sorry to disappoint you. He heard me rap Eminem and thought I was a guy.
What?
What, dude? I gotta, yeah. Carla. Are you a boy or a girl? Can I suck you off? Like, what? Oh my God. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, Joey Rocha. That
Joey,
is...
Joey, you got clothes on today, Joey? Are you dressed? Are you watching us naked?
No. So Joey said Brian and Ace's farts are odorless. That is absolutely true. I could sit there just farting up a storm. It is odorless, man. I take a dump, bathroom doesn't stink. I don't know if it's just because I eat right or what. Or I'm not kidding.
You two motherfuckers, listen to these motherfuckers out here telling us their shit don't stink, literally.
No, it doesn't. I mean, every once in a while, I don't know what makes the difference. But I also eat a lot of probiotics.
Yeah.
Like sauerkraut, I drink kombucha, kefir. No, so check this out, dude. You've obviously worked with other people and stuff. Man, come on. They leave the restroom like it's like you gotta go have a hazmat suit. It's like, what are y'all eating, dude? What? Or like someone leaves some like piss in the toilet and it's like neon yellow. I'm like, dude, drink water. If my piss was that yellow, I would be very, very concerned. I'm not here to talk about fart jokes. I'm here to talk about globe hoax, folks. You're stupid. All right, let's see. Sorry. All right, chat fucking, it's too distracting for me. I don't know how Owen Benjamin does it. Shout out to the legend Owen Benjamin. Watch half the chat's like, here's a show. Oh, check out my cool ass poster.
Nice.
My brother got that for me.
Nice.
I got this painting. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
Wait, hold on. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was done by Becky G. And that's an IPS original. And this is an award I got at FEMA camp.
At FEMA camp?
Yeah. yeah. FEMA camp. You never heard of FEMA camp?
No, I mean I've heard of the Alex Jones FEMA camp, but
yeah. So all right. I used to support IPS. He used to be pretty cool and very proactive. You know Issa Maholsky?
no, I don't.
Oh, he's a great, just a musician. And he supports Flat Earth. He used to do a lot of streaming and a lot of debating back in the day until he realized how stupid it was as well. Anyways, he came up with FEMA Camp. IPS just kind of promoted it. Well, it was before the first International Flat Earth Conference, right? It was like 1 week before the first Flat Earth Conference. So this was an event before the Flat Earth Conference ever was, right? It was in Denver, Colorado. We rented out an entire building, 3 stories. So the middle floor had an art gallery with all kinds of people submitted art, and there was an art auction. There's a lot of good pieces. The top floor, the roof, basically, we had live music. There was OBL, there was Twin Serpent, there was Jack, there was a couple other musicians like doing live music for 2 nights.
Your audio went to crap.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, you covering it or something.
Oh, is this better? So yeah, the whole event was like 3 days and 2 nights, right? Over 100 people showed up. Check this out. Admission was free.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it had an open bar. Just go up, get any drink you want. We even had like bartenders and shit. And it had an open dab bar. So there was like 10 different kinds of wax and big ass fucking bongs, and you could take dabs. Anyone.
Nice.
Isn't that fucking legit, dude?
Hell yeah.
Like that? Chris Pontius, you know him, right?
Yeah.
He makes the big flat earth models. Well, he brought his flat earth models. He even brought his motorcycle that's like made out of wood. It's an electric it's like an art piece. So yeah, man, I'm telling you, we used to do like cool shit, So, I used to be involved in that. I used to be involved in activism. Anyone doing activism like that.
Yeah.
Just like Flattoberfest coming up, which you're going to.
Yep.
You said
I actually, for anybody that's wondering, I just bought my tickets today, so I am definitely going. I booked my flight today. So I'll be going in 3 weeks to see everybody.
Hell yeah. It's going to be legit, man.
If anybody has a problem with it, they can blow me. So there you go. There's that.
Why would anyone have a problem with that? Does someone have a problem with that? Sorry. Does someone? Really? With Flattoberfest?
Plenty of people.
No way. I have not seen one negative thing about Flattoberfest. I'm not kidding. I haven't.
Let's continue.
All right. Sorry. Wow. I mean, we're just trying to get together and have a good time, man. Anyways, if you've never seen OBL perform, holy shit, you're in for a treat, man. They are like legit. That's what their whole job is for their whole life, is performing. You're gonna be blown away. These guys can rap, dude, and it's all truth stuff.
I can't wait, man.
And Twin Serpent, they're just on a whole nother level with their music. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, there's a pretty small.
Caller is asking in the chat who's going to be there. You want to tell her who's speaking, or you want me to do it?
Well, it's mostly. See, the thing is, it's mostly a party and a little hangout. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like a conference. It's more of a organized, awesome ass get together. Rob Skiba is coming in to do the keynote speech. I believe Mark Sargent's confirmed to do a little speech. Globebusters Bob is going to be there, giving a little presentation. Karen B, Authentic Intent as well, I believe, is supposed to be there, last I heard. So, and then the music guests are OBL and Twin Serpent. About
and me when I get drunk enough and do karaoke.
Right. So about a month ago, I texted ODD. I'm like, hey, dude, you're coming with me to South Carolina. I fucking got your plane ticket, whatever. He said he was down. So I'm not going to say he's confirmed, but, you know, ODD should be there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So did I leave anyone out?
I don't think so.
Okay. Not sure. I mean, whatever. Bottom line, it's October 20th, and there's a website called flattoberfest.com. You can go there or just go to Eventbrite, and tickets are like $15. I think they're like $15 to $30 or something. So basically like $20. It's dirt cheap. The only expense would be getting there. But, you know, it's going to be a blast, man. Not kidding, because it's literally all the cool people.
Yeah, you know that's why I'm going. That's why I'm finally pulling the trigger this time and going.
Yeah, that's what FEMA camp was. And before that, we had an event the year before called Globe Exit, where we're like smashing globe piñatas and doing the art auction thing, whatever. And that was a smaller event, like say 50 people showed up, but it's like the fucking go-getters of the community and the cool people, man. I don't know how else to describe it. Like there's you know, there's some kind of just lame people.
Listen, I'll describe it. Like, everybody, we're the fucking cool kids. You guys are here. You guys are the cool kids too. Everybody else is fucking lame and a bunch of assholes. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Basically, yeah, basically. But no, man, that's it. It's gonna be legit. And I, you know, even the FEIC, I know a lot of people have problems with that. Dude, I don't give a shit about who's running it or who is gonna be. Oh, this one speaker's gonna be there. Oh, Mark Sargent, he's a shill. I'm not going to. Like, why the fuck would you not go, dude? There's literally gonna be over 1,000 flat earthers there. Like, that's what it's about. It's not.
Just hanging out with like-minded people, man. Hanging out in a social situation, but being able to have conversations you want to have. There it is. That's why.
And here's the deal: I didn't go to the first FEIC. I almost did. I don't know why I didn't. I just was like, well, whatever. And I didn't regret it, right? Until I went to Denver last year when I went to FEIC. Holy shit. Dude, the energy, you can't get that from drugs even. Nothing. You cannot get that hyped anywhere aside from being around like the 144,000 all in the same room. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no NPCs, just the conversation you couldn't have anywhere else. It's like it's the equivalent of like a 13-year-old girl hanging out with Justin Bieber. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this is so awesome. It's like that kind of feeling, you know? Except it's Mark Sargent now.
Camera out. There you go.
Yeah, man. But yeah. So C3PO.
Yeah, that's a huge one, you know? And like movies like that, Star Wars, Wizard of Oz, they're full of them. They just keep changing. Back to the Future. I have a for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, I know most of the people in the chat, but people that are interested, when you go to my channel after, if you go to Mandela Effect shortlist, like I have a short list of videos. I have ones like for each of these movies, like Back to the Future. I got all the changes in like a 30-minute video. Like there's so fucking many for some of these things, you know?
So do you think it's all movies getting changes, or are there some movies unaffected and some have a lot more than others? Or do you think all movies have a bunch of changes and we just haven't
there's some
found
that
them?
don't. I mean, a lot of them do, but no, there's definitely some that aren't affected yet. Yet.
Right. Yeah, and that whole yet, that's what leads me to the conclusion and the rapid inclination of changes, like how there's a lot more in a short period of time than there was, say, back in 2015, right?
Yeah.
Then, honestly, I think it kind of fizzled out for a little bit. For like a good year, there wasn't really many changes, or any that I knew of, really. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, 17, 18?
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know, that's right after the eclipse.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, but lately it seems like it's on a rise. It's exponential. So what does that mean? It means at the growth rate that it's going, it's
it seems to go in categories as well. Like right now, it seems to be a lot of people having personal ones, like personal geography ones, like my neighborhood one. Other people with cities around them changing, buildings popping up. This type of stuff is happening a lot lately. It seems, and the geography is always constantly shifting. It's just a lot of shit all the time, man. There's been some months that are a lot busier than others, though, for sure. And then there's sometimes where it's not. But there's always stuff changing.
Yeah, but the months that were not as busy, those were like a couple years ago. Like in the last year, it's pretty much every month's been pretty busy.
Yeah.
So it does seem like it's been taking off and growing at a faster rate. That's all I'm saying. And to me, that means something. So I don't know what it means, but there's got to be a meaning behind that, right?
Well, I think the Mandela effect is basically like a gateway for us stepping out of here spiritually and getting out of the meat suit. So I think it's kind of like a conduit to that. So the more we see it increasing, the closer we're becoming.
Well, also, would you say that maybe in some way it connects you to your personal power? Like, for instance, you realize, man, this place is not quite as real as I thought it was, for instance, right? And almost like a dream, and have you ever had a lucid dream?
You start to look around and you try to manipulate things.
Right. And
I do it all the time.
Things don't bother you as much. You don't get stressed as easy. You don't get depressed, all these things.
Well, you know how I said it's not, because why would I stress it? Like, how I said it's not a simulation, but at the same sense, like if you want to think it's like God's simulation, you could say that. I think it's like a test that we're in. Like, do you remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books when you were little? You'd read it at the end of the chapter. You'd have like 5 choices, and it would take you somewhere else in the book. I think that's what we're doing, and I think these zombies, NPCs, whatever people want to call them, I think they're just going along with the flow, like we talked about earlier, and they're not making any of those choices, and we're making these choices, and I think that's our key to fucking find our way out of this little maze.
Right. And well, that's another thing, the getting out. So I'm kind of torn between that, right? So there's a lot of people, they're like, we got to get to Antarctica. We got to get out of here, right? Or we got to get to the North Pole and go to Hyperborean and, you know what I mean? Like ascend out of here. I mean, this is all we know. It's kind of like Truman when he hit that wall at the end of the movie. It's like, I guess, okay,
but,
how about this?
Well, the exploring out to whatever that would be, right? Exploring out to whatever that would be. It's not so much about, okay, that means we have to get out of here, so we're trying to get out past Antarctica or to the North Pole or whatever parameters may be, right? It's more like, for me, curiosity. I want to know,
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but I think a lot of people, they want to get out of here because they think this place is just so fucked up. And honestly, it's really not, man. Your day-to-day life isn't fucked up. Like, if you just spend all your time online researching all the truth kind of shit about the Masons and the political system and all that, and hoax events, and even the real events with real crimes, yeah, it looks really bad. But when you go out into day-to-day life, it's our nature. It's not, it's kind of nice, you know? I'm not talking about just dealing with a bunch of NPCs.
No, it's a complete artificial construct they laid over this realm on us, and you just got to unplug from all that. Like, look at the day of 9/11, for example. I'm not going to go all off on 9/11, but just look at the day of 9/11, right? And like everything we were shown, right? You know my opinions, but just think everything you were shown, all the chaos and everything going on, right? All the stuff you were shown. If you went outside on that Tuesday morning and you just looked up, just clear blue sky, nice and calm.
Tuesday, right? Didn't the day change?
No, people thought it was a Monday. It's always been Tuesday for me.
Okay, it has always been Tuesday, right? Okay, all right. I thought there was something with that.
Yeah, you gotta unplug from all that stuff, man. There's some things you can't unplug from. Sure, there's some things to fear if a family member's sick or something. Sure, but I mean, other shit, man. I mean, why even? I don't know how people even plug into that shit a little bit. Like, I know we're all still in the matrix a little bit. We have to go to work until we figure out other means, and there's all shit we all do. But like, man, how do people that are even like a portion of awake, how do they still look at politics at all? How do they still watch these shit ass fucking TV shows that are just dumbing you down? My fucking family, they think I'm crazy because I'll sit in here on the computer all day, right? But they're sitting on the couch all day. Now let's look at the difference.
They're
sitting on the couch all day. They're just staring at the screen and taking whatever's given. Sure, there's tons of disinfo on the internet, but I'm using discernment, digging through. And besides all that, I'm having conversation like we're having right now. That's fucking much better than sitting there fucking staring at the fucking screen that literally, Ace, and you know this, it was literally created by the CIA as a brainwashing tool. Hands down. That's what the television is. There's no doubt about it. We all know this.
Yeah, the original guy that developed it was an occultist, and it was television, which is telepathic vision, almost like a scrying mirror, right? They actually brought the scrying mirror. So the whole point was he was trying to create a device to connect to another dimension, essentially, right? To like talk to spirits and shit. And if you really think about it, it's like, man, it's all come full circle. We got the scrying mirror, the black mirror, with the telepathic visions of another dimension, essentially, right? Yeah, but TV, and then you have the truthers that they, right, you have a lot of truthers, they still watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then they'll ask me, they'll be like, oh, well, how you know this, or I don't have time to look at all that and that. But then they'll be talking to their friends about the episode of this, that they saw the episode of that. I'm like, that's why you're not where we're at. Like, you're wasting your time on that. Why would you put any time to that? At least if you want to get away from the research and stuff, go outside. Go outside like I do. Go sit on the porch. Look at the stars. Go for a walk. Take your dog to the park.
Look at the stars. That's a big one, man. You can actually, if you go just look at the sky, you can sit there for a couple hours and be completely entertained. I don't know what it is. It's I wanted to say, did you ever watch Lost a long time ago?
No. I know what it is, but I never watched it. I might have seen one episode, but no.
All right. Well, a lot of people have seen it, so they're going to maybe resonate. All right. There's a scene in Lost, and it's in the first season, where they find this hatch, and they go down into a hole, and there's this guy sitting at a control panel, and his whole job is to just push a button. Like, there's a clock on the wall, and if the time, he has to push this button before the time gets to 0. So he pushes it, and it resets the clock. Pushes it. So the Lost people, they get down there, and then next thing you know, it's like they took over for him. so now there's like a new guy, and he basically got trained by the guy before, right? Like, push the button before the clock hits 0. Well, what happens if the clock hits 0? I don't know. Something bad, right? So no one actually knows what happens, right? But anyway, so you got these people just sitting there. They're pushing a button before the clock runs out. And dude, I'm not kidding, dude. The other day, as much as I actually kind of like my job, anyway, so as much as I actually kind of do like it, I'll have these moments of full connectedness. I call it the oneness, where you're like resonating divinely like you should be, almost, right? You feel connected to all things. Well, the other day, man, I was having one of these moments, and I thought back to that Lost episode, and I was like, oh my God, I'm doing the Lost thing. I'm at this place, and I keep having to do these things each time this thing goes down or whatever. I have to fix it, and there's alarms going off, and I just, it's like an endless loop. And then when I leave for the next 12 hours, someone else comes and takes my place, and they just keep doing this. And I'm like, what is it all really for? Like, sure, we're making like products and people buy them and there's money to be made, but like, what? I just felt, honest to God, I felt like I was in an episode of Lost, man. It all made sense. I was like, dude, the writers of that show are like on point. Anyways, what do you mean re-add Brian? Oh, did he glitch out? Thanks. Anyways, so I told the whole story to chat about Lost. I felt like I was.
I heard you. Lost. I heard you. And when I went pee, I lost connection. When I came back, I was waiting in the studio. Right.
Yeah, it just made sense, man. That scene like got stuck in my head, and then I remembered the one scene where the person they forgot to hit the button in time, right? And the clock went to 0. And then next thing you know, the clock's like showing hieroglyphs and all this other shit. And I don't know, the movie or the TV show kind of was trying to give you the indication like all kinds of shit was going to go wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I think it is a metaphor. I think that whole TV show is a metaphor for our whole lives. It's like this endless rat race,
Yeah.
Like going to work, doing the same shit over and over to make the money to do whatever. It's like, really, what do we really, really need? Food, and that's about it, right?
Yeah.
And depending on your climate, you don't even really need shelter, right? Like if you lived in the right climate,
yeah,
it's mild. So the thing is, if you wanted out of the system, you could easily be out of it. But the thing is, it's like a drug. We want the system because any one of us at any time could opt out, if we really wanted to. But we like the things that come with it, and that's not to say that's a bad thing, because I'm telling you, like, let's say we didn't have the parasitic control at the top, right? Like fucking everything up with the evil money system and all that kind of shit. And I'm not saying money's not a bad thing. Like, real money is okay, but currency is bad. So let's say, how about this? Here's a thought. Okay, you know how, let's call it hashtag woke, right? Whatever you want to call me and you and the people in chat, like the conscious individuals, right? We're few and far between right now, right? But there's more of us each day, you would say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say overnight, tomorrow, everyone their mind was replaced with our mind. Like they thought like we did. Like, man, this is all bullshit. What are we doing? Like nothing. No one cared about politics anymore. No one cared about money. No one cared about anything. And we all just kind of became family. Could you imagine where we would be in just a year's time? We would have flying cars and floating cities and free electricity.
Well, that's why one of the biggest things they do from the top down and in every facet of life, whether it's politics, sports, religion, is they cause division, fake racism, everything is to keep us separated so people don't want to bond like that because, oh, we think the guy with the towel on his head is going to kill us. We think the Chinese guy is going to eat our dog. And we think these people are going to get stoned over here and all this shit. In reality, it's always been we're all one, we're all the same, and it's always been the nations holding us down, holding down the people all together in unison, not against each other.
Yeah, so people that aren't on the inside, like and they're not usually the normal globetards. These are like new people that find their way into these kind of like flat earth chats and whatnot. They will ask the question, so why don't we go like storm NASA, or why don't we sue NASA, or why don't we get rid of NASA, or like get rid of the government, whatever, right? Or like take up arms and get the country back, things like that, right? And the thing is, this is different, I think, because I'm telling you, if overnight everyone thought like me and you, there would be no need to sue NASA or do anything. They would just go away.
Yeah.
No one would pay any attention to that.
No, they're just there because we consent. We consent, and people just willingly pay their money, pay their taxes. They consent to that as well.
Right. So that's the thing, and that's all I have to say to that kind of a person. This isn't that kind of a thinking, like going to attack the government or NASA or whatever. That's the same thinking that we're in right now anyways. That whole war mentality and, fighting. It's just a simple switch of the mind, man. I'm telling you. And once we're out of that delusion, that spell, everyone is under a fucking magic spell, dude. And in fact, there's even people in the truth community that get put into other little spells from little cliques, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Negative energy that feeds from the top down through all their people. There's a lot of that going on. It's almost like casting spells on people, yeah.
Yeah, it's all a fucking spell. Are you down what time what do you got to do tomorrow? What do you got going on tonight? How are you feeling?
Why? What are you asking for? If you want to keep this going for a while, we can. But I'll need to smoke a joint, so I'll roll it while we're talking. You give me a 5-minute break at some point, and we can go like another.
Do it, man. Hell yeah, let's do that. And I can actually figure out my little share screen. I got a fucking awesome.
I'm on the phone. I can just take you with me outside when I go to smoke.
Yeah, you're all good. Glad you brought up Lost. There's a lot of predictive programming on that show. Dude, Rasta Bear, I think it's more than predictive programming. I think it's like literally an insight to exactly what the world is. And the whole fact of the island moving and shit, it's like Mandela's in there, everything's in there.
You know what's crazy with when you go through both these topics, right? Mandela effect, flat Earth. It's like, man, like the stuff that goes on in the sky, Ace. It's such a combination of both. You don't even know where to start sometimes. Like, is what I'm seeing here Mandela effect? Is it a deception from NASA? Is it a projection? Like, there's so much fucking stuff with because some of the stuff can be chalked up as a NASA deception. Some of it can't. You know what I mean? Some of it is Mandela effect stuff happening in the sky, and it's very valuable, to have both backgrounds so you can make that discernment. Because if you don't, you're just going to chalk it all up to whichever road you come from.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm gonna take a leak unless y'all want to hear me.
No, go ahead, take a leak. Everybody, take a 2-minute break. I'm gonna shut my camera off for a second.
Oh, we're doing that now. All right. See you in a minute. Y'all like my bathroom? Let's see. Oh, check this out. Dude, this shampoo, the bomb. It's called Hemp's. You can get it on Amazon. Anyways, it smells really good. Makes your hair soft. Doesn't have all the nasty shit like most things. I'm about to take a piss. Sorry. BRB.
Make sure you wipe off your vagina.
Hey, fuck you. Puppies.
Nice. Nice. I'm gonna put my shirt on to go outside. People are asking if you're gonna take calls. You don't have that capability set up tonight, though, right?
I don't even think I'd want to.
I didn't think you had that set up anyways. That's a hassle. Not tonight, guys. No calls tonight.
Dude, it smells like weed out here. Is that your weed? It's of my neighbors. Dude, I got all kinds of fucking cool weed shit. Like this oil, it's in a syringe, and it's 96% THC.
Yeah, you're fucking shooting up fucking THC now?
Dude, yeah, it literally, it's a gram in a fucking glass syringe. Yeah, it looks like you're shooting up.
I gotta take you out front. I wouldn't have no connection in the back.
It looks like some tar, some shit.
All right, guys, I'll stop walking in a second. I'm outside.
It's okay, everybody.
All right, we're good. So what else? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Check
How about
this
you?
shit.
What's that? Nice.
Yeah, that's where it's at, man. I'm telling you. Here, then you look up at the sky. Yeah.
This is where I sit when I look up at the star. It's usually right up there, but it's a very it's been raining out. You can't really see anything tonight. The orbs came from right over there, across the street behind me now.
Do you have can you see a lot of stars where you're at?
Yeah, not tonight because it was raining. I can't see shit. I can see a few, but usually, yeah.
On a good night.
Yeah, your audio sounds terrible right now.
Oh, what does it sound like?
I don't know, real like tinny.
Hold on. Hello? Is that any better?
It's good enough.
So you're saying it's changed since I was inside?
Yeah, maybe it's a weaker connection. I don't know.
Okay. Alright. I just wanted to get that starting to be warm for later.
Yeah, no, I don't got no plans for tomorrow. I'm just looking forward to vacation, you know, going to see everybody, getting on the plane, getting out of here for a few days, chilling out, getting a little drunk. I'm a lightweight, but, you know, get a little drunk. Your mic's on mute. Your mic mute.
Thanks. I was going to say that's good because when you're a lightweight, that's when you actually enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
When you have a good tolerance, it's not as enjoyable. It's like,
I don't mind being a lightweight.
How many people did we lose during that little intermission? Oh, not too
I don't
many.
know. I'm outside. What's it say?
I don't know, 106 or something.
Oh, no, it's about the same.
People got no attention span, dude. I'm telling you. Look, think about this. Most people could not, if you said, all right, just sit on that couch and do nothing. Like, sit on the couch and look forward for 5 minutes. Dude, that would be like hell for a lot of people. You know that?
Yeah.
Even a lot of truthers, dude. And that's the thing, man. They keep us from ourselves, dude. That's the biggest deception is it's keeping your focus on the external world and never on yourself. Like all the flat earth disinformation and psyops, like even if they know like certain people are going to find out, they want you to stay in these debates and they want you to focus on the shape and
exactly.
doing the tests and all this.
You've heard me tell people I don't do debates. I did that one debate, but I don't do these debate rooms. Don't tag me in a fucking post and ask me to go debate people with you. That's like the absolute last thing I want to do with my time. It literally is. Dude. That's the last thing I want to do when I get up in the morning. Yeah. You know, it's so far past that. There's so much more.
Honestly, I think the debates is some kind of show of ego. It's appealing to the ego in some way, man. It's that gotta be right, gotta prove shit to people.
Well, if you're not in a huge, like, if you're not in a totally neutral place with a huge audience that would make it even worth it, what's the point? Because everybody's just going to walk away thinking they won the debate and it's never going to go anywhere. I mean, unless it's on a big platform, you know, and a lot of people are going to see it and it's going to be pretty impartial, then yeah. But otherwise, it's, you know, I'm not saying I don't ever pop in the guys' chats, like, you know, but I can't stay long. It's just too much, you know?
Yeah. I got this thing here. This is a oil pen. Check it out. Look at the oil inside there.
Nice.
It's like fucking clear almost. Hold on. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. Hit it real quick. Dude, actually 2 nights ago was the first time I've smoked since August 1st, which was my birthday. And
really?
Yeah, I took like a couple little drags off that thing. Holy shit, man. I was in bed, like laying there, like, dude, I felt like I was gonna float to the ceiling. I'm not kidding. It was intense, man. Yeah, so I actually, dude, I used to be I used to sell weed, man, when I lived in Houston. I had like a quarter pound of weed in my trunk at all times. All times. Yeah. And I worked for a company. I was doing like outside sales and shit. I used to like wear suits and stuff to work, you know? And honestly, I thought that gave me an edge for being able to
get away with like rolling around with a fucking pound of weed in the trunk, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, when I would go do pickups, I had to go, and no one wanted to go because it was like all the way in Katy, which is like 30, 40 minutes away. I would take my Miata with the top down, you know? So I'd be like riding in a convertible.
To show off your fucking 3-piece suit out the fucking top down?
Not yet. Well, I'd have like a dress shirt, nice slacks and shit, you know? But I would have the top down. You see what I mean? Because most people, they want to roll like, you know, tinted windows up, like all suspicious. Nah, me, I was like, bam, off, here it is, open, you know? Honestly, I think selling weed helped my personality, you know? Like it, or my relationship with the world, like, or that not caring. Like,
I tell people all the time, they know I don't do my shows without smoking before, and everybody knows what I do at the top of every hour. They know how I'm going out with Porsche smoke during my shows, just like I did right now during your show. This is how it's going down. It helps me expand my mind, bro. Like I get mental blocks if I don't smoke. I need my coffee and I need my weed in the morning before I do my show.
Right.
And then I'll have my weed, my coffee. I'll sit out on the porch and I'll start to think for like an hour or two. Then I'll come in, I'll start jotting down some notes for a few hours, and I'll start digging stuff up, and then it'll start all coming to me, you know?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is, so check this out. I got a story. So this is another add on to the whole story with the is my audio better, by the way?
Your audio's fine now. Yep.
Okay. All right. So this is like just another positive thing that happened with that whole mental clarity that came with the whole eclipse experience and that positive mindset, you know, just whatever, just letting the universe take care of me type of thing, right? Well, so like I said, I've been every kind of pot smoker you could think of, like once a week, you know, just at nights, wake and bake, and then full-blown pothead all day long, smoking. Anytime I'm in the car, I'm smoking, you know, all that kind of shit, right? And I've gone through different periods. And, you know, I've taken a week off here and there. I've never really taken more than, say, 3 weeks off, ever, you know, for any reason, because I've never had to. I've only done it because really just to get your tolerance back, you know? Well, anyways, all right, long story short, before I had my spiritual awakening, so this was like before 10 years ago, even like when I was in my early 20s, I was into like meditation and things like that, and then trying to astral project. And then I became pretty good at astral projection. Like I would lay there and I would meditate and I would get to this hypnagogic state where it's like you can't feel your body anymore. It's like almost like your body's gone to sleep, but your mind's awake. And you're meditating. And next thing you know, you have this energy that comes into your body. Holy shit, I'm feeling that, dude. Wow. Uh-oh.
I haven't been able to do that yet.
Damn. All right. So anyways, I used to have fun. I used to meditate a lot. I used to dream a lot. I used to be a lucid dreamer. So I would like try to have lucid dreams and all these things. And then I became a pothead. And for many, many years, I really didn't ever dream anymore. Like I find it very, very difficult to dream. Anyways, I find it very difficult to dream when I've been smoking a lot of weed. So,
a lot of people.
Right. So check this out. About 8 months ago. So like I said, I got a raise at work after the eclipse. Then I quit my job and immediately got a new awesome job. But it was as a contractor, right? So I'm working for another company, like anyways, I'm a contract labor person where I'm not a full W-2, like full blown employee. I can't get the company benefits, right? I was making like $1 or $2 more than like the people in my normal position anyways, but that's because they didn't have to pay me, benefits, right? Long story short, whatever. Had the job, contractor. I'm doing it for like 6 months. It's going great and everything. Well, one day we're doing all these chats on Discord with people like Marlena Effect, which is like kind of like Mandela Effect, but her name's Marlena. If y'all never met her, cool lady.
Your audio is bad again.
Oh, hello?
Still. Weird. I don't know. Just we can hear you. It got weird again.
Yeah. How's it now?
Same. But go ahead. We can hear you. It's just like really weird.
Yeah. What does it sound like? Hey, in chat, is my audio bad? All right. How about this? Is my audio bad? In chat. Yeah, some people say they dream on weed.
You're good now. Good now.
All right, so here's the deal. So about 6 months ago, me and these people were talking, and I was like, man, I want to start getting back into lucid dreaming and astral projection and all these cool things I used to do. Because I'm telling you, I'm one of those people, I just do not dream when I smoke. It's like I go to sleep at night and I wake up the next day, and it's like all I did was close my eyes and open them, and bam, it's the next day. Like nothing happened. So I stopped smoking weed. And this is right before the conference last year. Actually, so this was a year ago. This was right before FEIC Denver. I decided I'm not going to smoke. And I was enjoying it. Like a month and a half after, I'm like, man, I've got all this extra energy. I'm like working out again and stuff. So I decide to stick with it. Okay. So what happens is, here's FEIC, Denver, Colorado, right? All of the flat earthers are there. Do you know how many times I got offered weed at the conference?
100.
Oh my God. And I decided, no, I'm not going to do it. I didn't even want to. That's the thing. It wasn't like I had to say no and I was like, oh, whatever. And for me, for the last 20 years, that's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like to turn down weed. Okay, I got a point of this story, trust me. So the thing is, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, fuck, if I smoke now, I'm gonna be so fucked up, I'm gonna be useless. I won't have fun, right? So, whatever. Conference is over. So it's been about 3 months. I haven't smoked weed, right? It's been about 3 months. Bam. My job says, hey, we want to offer you this position as a full-time person with our company, which is like a lot more money and everything.
You have the drug test, right? But you have the drug test.
Hair test. Nice. A hair follicle test, bro. Dude. And not only was so look, your hair grows at 1/2 inch per month, okay? So when they do a hair follicle test, it can look back as far as 6 months.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah. I went out and I got this stuff, which is called Toxin Rid. Yep. This is like $300 shampoo. Okay. Anyways, that's besides the point. That's not what saved me, because I don't care what kind of shampoo you get. If you've been a pothead all your life, like, you're not passing a hair follicle drug test. There's no way. Well, it just so happened that I quit smoking weed at the exact point in time which allowed me to pass this hair follicle drug test that I had no idea I was going to be subjected to. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I passed. And there's no, it's like,
and now are you still? Are you the biggest pothead that still works for the company?
No, there's people that smoke. You know, there's people. No, that's the thing. But so right after I passed the test or whatever, you know, I still maintained. I never went back to being a pothead. I only smoke on occasion, and it's like when I feel like it. You know. Before sex is the best time to smoke weed. I'm sorry, but I sex and weed go hand in hand. Period. Like absolutely. Give me a amen in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, but no, I only smoke like once a month or once every 2 weeks, depending. I don't know. It doesn't do the same thing for me anymore. And before, like right before I decided to quit anyways, it was like causing me this weird chest, this feeling in my chest, like almost like I was going to get a heart attack or something, even though I knew I wasn't. Haha, hey, Andrews, amen. It's true. Yeah, man. When you and your partner smoke weed and you take things kind of slow and whatever, and you build up, it's like you just know exactly what to do. I don't know. But shout out to the chat. Truth Seeker 60. Yeah, Truth Seeker 69.
Yeah, well, Truth Seeker 69 is a pothead and a horny bitch, so we're not surprised.
Yeah, 69. I love it. They Lie, Ohio. He says, I drug test regularly. I work outside of high rises. So the thing is, they're only testing you for piss. So all you got to do if you really wanted to smoke is get a bottle of the fake piss and strap it to the inside of your thigh every day. And just when you go to work, you just always have that little bottle strapped to your thigh.
Yeah.
I've passed.
So I had a test for probation, and I brought the fake piss, and I got caught because I couldn't. Yeah, because they went in the bathroom with me to watch me piss, but I had I had the fake dick, right?
Yeah.
With the tube going around your waist, like it wasn't letting the fucking fake piss out. So I'm like holding my fake dick for like 40 minutes trying to take a fucking piss. This guy's like, fucking, what the fuck's going on in here, guys?
Oh, damn, you should have said, I can't pee right now. You're watching.
They fucking put the fake dick right up on the fucking table after they were telling everybody fucking I got violated.
What was the consequence of that?
At the time, because they have a color coding system for drug tests, so every morning you would call, say you were green. You would only get randomly they would tell you green like once a week, and you would go down. So they took me from like green and they put me on red. So I was down there 4 out of the 5 days a week taking a drug test after that. And then I didn't fail again. If I failed again, I would have got fucked.
Wow.
Yeah, they caught me with the fake dick.
Unreal, bro. Did it even look real at all? Like, how's that thing look? I've seen it, the Wizinator. I've seen
I mean, it doesn't matter how big of a fake dick you get. It's going to look small in comparison to the real thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, but also, like, well, you said you were in there 40 minutes. It's like, dude, look, I had by the way, somebody in the chat, California Glass asked, Ace, do you get beat by cops regularly? And the answer is kind of like, actually, yeah, I had a bad run-in. So I was on something called pre-trial supervision. Okay. Yeah. And what that means, it's essentially the same as probation, but you haven't even been convicted of a crime yet. You've just been charged, right? Yeah. And I was charged with driving with a expired license. Like my license had expired, right? So I was driving with no license. And in the state of Colorado, you can get up to 6 months in jail for that.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, well, in Mass, it's that now too. If you're driving on a suspended, you can get 6 months now.
Well, oops. Am I still here?
Your video is frozen, but your audio is good.
Oh, okay. I accidentally hit the power button on my phone. It's a new phone, sorry. So here's the deal. I had just moved to Colorado. This was whatever, right? The ass into 2014. This is horrible. This makes me not even. I almost quit everything because of this. So there wasn't like that many people talking about flat Earth and other truths too, you know. Well, I had just started becoming real active in chats, you know, comments, you know, websites, things like that. And I just started streaming.
Yeah.
And when we streamed, we didn't just kind of like now. We're not just talking about the one topic or whatever. We're talking about all kinds of shit. We're talking about and back then you had free reign to talk about hoax events and everything, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to risk your channel being taken down like you do now. So we were talking about it all, dude. So I had been here for like, I want to say almost 6 months, dude. Or like, I don't know, say 4 months I had lived here. And I live in a neighborhood, and it's like like a starter community kind of. It's new houses, and all the families here, they're like young families, and they all got kids and shit, right? It's like, it's kind of like really wholesome and almost makes some people sick. Like, like nice families, they're nice kids and shit everywhere. Anyways, so it's like 4 months into it, I go down to the DMV to finally get my Texas ID switched to Colorado. Well, apparently I don't have enough information. Like they want birth certificate, social. I didn't even have my fucking social, dude. I only found my social security like 6 months ago. I've looked for it like 6 different times. Anyways, so they wanted, like, I'm not kidding, like 3 or 4 forms of ID. Like they wanted, of course, my old Texas ID, but they wanted like a social, a birth certificate. They wanted like an old power bill. They wanted me to prove who I was, like from years ago. And I'm like, dude, I just moved. I don't have any of that shit. And secondly, like, whatever, like some of these files that were all in one place, I can't fucking find them. I don't know why. Like birth certificate, all that kind of shit. So what they did, they gave me a temporary ID, which is like for 60 days, contingent on that I get my paperwork or something, right? To get my fucking ID. So 60 days exactly have passed. And of course, I pretty much kind of forgot about it, right? So I live on the last street in a neighborhood. Like there's only one way in, one way out kind of thing. I'm coming down the street. I make the left on the last left I can. And I see a cop car sitting down there. Okay. Like basically kind of near my house now that I think about it. Anyways, so I had just turned left. Before I even finished turning, the cop lights, the cops' lights go on, right? No siren, just the lights. And it starts speeding this way. So I kind of like pull over to the right to let this cop go by. Because of course they're hauling ass to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
No. Instead they go and park right in front of me. Okay. Then they're sitting there for like 30 seconds, something like that. And then they turn the sirens on too. The loud noise, right?
Yeah.
And they let that blare for like 20 seconds and they turn it off. Light's still going. Robo bitch gets out of the car. This chick with sunglasses and like is pulled back a hair as you could get, tied into a little ponytail in the back, right? I mean, you would think she's a fucking lesbian. I come to find out she's not because I overheard conversation and her husband and they're buying this house.
She looks like one. She looks like one of the
neighborhoods. What? Dude,
they're like
buying. Check this out. The lady, because I was sitting there in the intake. Oh, by the way, I got arrested. All right, that's not the story. That's not the worst of the story. The worst is she gets out of her car. My windows roll down. Of course, I'm going to talk to the cop. Halfway when she gets to my car, she's like walking. She's like, Ace McCloud, like question mark, right? And in my mind, because I'm a truther and I've read all the like legal shit, I'm like, oh, I know how to talk to cops, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, hey, I know my rights. I know I'm a natural citizen, all this kind of shit, right? Dude, she's halfway to my car and says Ace McCloud. Literally those exact words. Okay? Let anyone know. It just, I fucking lost it. My mind went to mush. I didn't know what to do. I take my phone out and I start texting my brother. I'm like, dude, I'm parked on the street. I think I might be going to jail. That's what I said. Because at no time have you ever been pulled over did the cops say your fucking name as they're walking to your car. You know what I mean?
The car wasn't registered to you?
No, it wasn't. That's another thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Do these cops know you, though? Is it like a small town where they know you? You said you're at the end of the street there. Do they know you? Did you get in trouble a few times? They know who you are?
Never. I've never been in trouble before at all. Anywhere. I'm not on the radar of anybody. No,
so you think
especially not in Colorado.
You think she like took like an update to take your name into her consciousness, or you think fucking people are spying on you type of thing?
No, here's the deal. I don't know. This is what I was thinking. So, anyways, as she's walking in my car, she's like, Ace McCloud, like a dude gets to my window, and I'm just like, yeah. She says, I pulled you over for driving with an expired license. I'm like, wait a minute. How would you fucking know that? Like, it's not making sense. I'm like, when would a cop ever know your license is expired?
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Dude, this was an intentional fucking thing. And there's another thing that makes me know it's intentional. All right. So after that, I'm like, no. I went and I got my fucking ID. I got this temporary ID thing. It's like a yellow piece of paper looking with your picture on it and shit. And I hand it to her and she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Goes back to her car. Oh, yeah, that's when I bust my phone out. And I'm like, writing a message to my brother. And I didn't quite send it. Oh, and by this time, because she had to flick her fucking sirens on, all my neighbors are outside. And they're all fucking watching this shit go down.
Oh,
right?
Of course. Yeah.
Then, okay, she walks back up to the car. And she hands me the piece of paper. And then she hands me another thing. And I can't remember what it was, but she says, you're going to need to give this to the county, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, thanks for not giving me a ticket for this. I'll get it taken care of right away. And she says, I'm going to need you to step out of the car. And my phone is like right here on my lap, right? And I went blink and I just hit send because I already had the text message like pre-written out to my brother. And I hit send. Blink. And she says, put the phone away. I said, get the fuck out of the car. I was like, dude, okay. I get out of the car, fucking arrest me, whatever. Then they impound my car, even though it's on my street, like fucking 10 houses away. Anyway, so I had to battle this shit for 6 months, dude. I had a lawyer and everything. And during that 6 months, I was on this pre-trial supervision shit where I couldn't smoke weed. Well, next thing you know, they're trying to give me jail time. They're trying to give me a month
for a suspended license, for an expired license.
No, expired license.
That doesn't say
yeah, with no previous. And the DEA person would not back down or budge or anything, dude. And I kept going to court. Like, you have to go every single month to like see if they'll do anything or drop the charges or get
over a license that expired 24 hours ago.
Yeah, less than 24 hours ago. Yeah. I'm not kidding, dude. So, okay. So at first I was already like, oh, I'm being targeted. That's exactly what I thought. And I didn't stream for a while after this. I didn't do nothing. But then the whole court proceeding, like, that should have been a slap on the wrist or something. That should have been nothing. They should have dropped that or like just given me a fine or something. No, they're trying to like go for like the throw the book at me, dude. For real. And at first, the first day, like right when we get in there, they're asking for the full 3 or 4 months or 6 months, whatever it was, of jail time, dude. Then they cut it down to like a month and we keep going back. I'm like, fuck no. I was like, I'll go to fucking trial or whatever. Like, this is bullshit. I'm not going to fucking jail. Like, I have a job and everything. Well, then they offered me 10 days of this of alternative sentence or whatever. It's like weekenders or work release program or something, right? So, and they offered to dismiss it, or it was deferred. It would be deferred after that. So this is so weird. So if I went to jail for the equivalent of 5 weekends, Saturday, spent the night to Sunday, right? You go in Saturday morning, you leave Sunday like afternoon, 5 times, which counts for 10 days, right?
Yeah.
Or it actually counts for 20 days because it's like double points or something. Whatever. Then after that, it would be off my record or something like that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like deferred is like deferred. But I also had to do community service too. So I ended up fucking taking this shit, dude. My lawyer's the one that actually offered that to them. Like, what if he does this alternative thing? Because we got him down to, I think it was 20 days jail. They wanted me in jail, dude. For real. What the fuck? There's fucking
expired license
dealers and shit. I'm not kidding, man. All right.
Imagine you're in there too, like, yeah, they'd be like, look at this guy. Hey, what are you here for, man? I had a fucking expired license, dude.
Yeah, bro. Oh, you killed someone? I had an expired license. No.
It
All right, check it
was
out.
expired for fucking 6 hours, and I was parked 10 streets away from
All
mom's
right,
house.
there's a prize at the end of the story though. Oh, hold on. Let me get it out. Let me get out my prize. Hold on. Because this is great.
You have a prize for me? What do you got?
I got a prize. It was all worth it. I'm not kidding. It was worth it. All right. I got it. So I'm in there, and the first couple days I meet this guy. He's cool. We're talking. I see him reading this book. It's called Tikal. It's something like the Encyclopedia of Psychedelics, right? And we're talking, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, the second to last day I was in there, I show up on Saturday, right? And he's in the bunk right beside me. He's like, yo, Ace, what's up? And he goes to like shake my hand. And then I look in my hand. I was like, what is this? I was like, is that DMT? He's like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
We passing it in you in the place on the weekends, Dale?
Oh, wait, check this out. So this place I was at, right? It was run like a church camp. Like the people that worked there were like
They don't
Polish.
pat you down, nothing?
Huh?
They don't even search you? They don't even search you?
Oh no. And you can bring in a cooler, you can bring in your own food. So I would wheel a cooler in with all kinds of fucking snacks.
You guys were tripping out and fucking throwing a barbecue.
Essentially. So look, this is what it was like. Check it out. And it was co-ed. There was girls too.
Dude, that sounds like a great time.
They had separate bunks. So yeah.
Did you guys get to have sex too?
People
potentially
that, but check this out. There was people literally in like on so much heroin in there, they're nodding out and shit, and they get searched and they don't find anything. So like they get to stay. They're like obviously like damn near ODing on heroin, like can't even fucking talk to the people, and they're like searching them. They're like, whoa, we didn't find anything on them. Anyways, look, it was a joke. All right. So like people would like sneak their phones in and everything. And what we would do, this is the whole thing. Like you show up, you're in a line and you get assigned a bunk. Like all the guys are in here and the girls have their own separate area. And in the middle is a giant cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we would hang out in this cafeteria all day, just talking and playing board games. It was actually fun, Brian. Like I enjoyed it. Like it's actually like a couple of the days I was in there, I was thinking, you know what? I would actually like come hang out here on my own free time. This is kind of cool. And no one has phones. Well, you know, except for the few people that sneak them in, right? But so there's no phones. You're like actually talking to people. Dude, I flat smacked some people. I found this one guy. He was from China. He's like here just to go to college. He told me that where he's from, his city in China, they learn about the flat earth all the way in school. Like they're not taught the globe or anything.
Really?
Yeah, no shit. Then I met this other girl. She knew about the flat earth because her fucking uncle or somebody was a Mason and has been talking. Her whole family are all flat earthers, or at least they know the earth's flat. And I was like, she was telling me all the shit about flat earth, right? And I was like, well, who do you watch on YouTube or whatever? It's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, what about like Mark Sargent or Eric Dubay? She didn't know who the fuck any of those people were.
Yeah.
She's flat earther because of her family. And then flat smacked a couple of people. And then, so here's the deal. Ever since my first awakening, like even before that, like, dude, I knew what DMT was before anyone was talking about it. And I'm talking like 12, 13, 15 years ago. I've been wanting some fucking DMT. I could never find it. No one even knew what it was until recently, right? So here I am in this place where I'm thinking I got fucking targeted for sure. And I get handed this fucking homemade DMT from this dude. And of course I tried it and it was fucking amazing. Then the next day I show up. Apparently he brought some for another guy, but that guy wasn't there. So he gave it to me. So I have 2 of these. And that's the first time I ever had DMT in my life. And I got it while I was doing kind of like jail or whatever. But yeah, it was fun. And most of the time we'd be on the back patio, everyone fucking chain smoking cigarettes and just sitting around talking.
Sounds like a vacation. Well, good thing you took that. Good thing you took that deal.
No shit. See, so the thing is, it didn't interrupt anything in my life. It didn't interrupt my job because it was Saturday to, Sunday, and I wasn't working Saturdays because it was more towards the winter time. I was doing construction. And it was very tolerable. Hey, the only people that I've got in trouble that I saw there was when you show up and you're in line checking in.
Your audio.
They do
audio. Your audio's terrible. Your audio's terrible.
Hello? Is that better?
Terrible.
Hello?
Fucking weird. Sometimes, yeah, hopefully it just comes back like it did last time.
Man. Oh, well, this is boring. I'm sorry. Are you still there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your mic's fucked, though.
Hello?
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird.
Hello? Is this better?
No. No, it's still the same. But it's whatever. Just go. We're fine. We'll just.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes.
Why is it not? It's not piping through to my audio. You there?
I mean, weird.
The fuck, man?
Now you're frozen.
Hello?
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird. My Bluetooth won't. It doesn't come through.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It went to shit.
Whatever. Is it still fucked up?
Yeah, it's still fucked up.
How about if I rejoin, I guess? I'm gonna rejoin.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so now this is when I porn bomb Ace's show. All right. Ravishing Rick Rude. That's for all the haters out there. Simply ravishing. Let me see if you sound all right now.
How'd you like that? Did that hurt your ears? What happened? What? What's so funny?
I just can't stop laughing.
Why? Because you're high.
Yeah. And then fucking simply ravishing. Oh.
Uh,
Oh. All right, your mic sounds good now. I'm gonna be all right, I promise. Oh, you're frozen. Is he frozen? Jump out, come back in. I'm fucking dying over here. Oh.
dude, what happened just now?
What,
Huh?
why am I laughing?
No, what happened? It's like I lost connection. Did you lose connection too?
No, you froze. You
No,
froze for everybody. You froze on your end, but I was still here. Now there's
I
two
don't
of
think.
you.
Did people still hear you? Because my broadcast computer said that there was a problem or whatever. It was showing no video feeds. What?
I think they can
Stop
hear.
laughing.
Ask them if they can hear you. I can't even breathe right now.
Can they hear me? Can y'all hear me? Huh? Can y'all hear me?
They must hear you. You sound clear now.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. That's some bullshit.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, man. That story was way too long, guys. I hope I didn't bore you, but you know, I've only told it one other time, and I don't even like to think about it because I don't like that whole targeted individual thing. You know,
No, me neither.
I don't believe. I think it's Ace. Your body was there, but you were completely gone. Here, hold on, Brian. I got one for you. Bam. I think that's a dude. I think California Glass is a dude like trolling as a chick on the internet.
Awesome.
Catfishing people.
Great.
Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on. Dude, my streams are never boring. Never. Dude, I've had Russian physicists on my stream. Literally, like, they could barely speak English good enough, you know, as good or better than Iru, you know, per se. And they're talking shit about fucking Einstein. They're like, yeah, when we're in school, they're taught like that Einstein's full shit, relativity's bullshit, and they're taught like Tesla and all this other stuff, right? So I don't know. It's cool. Whatever. It's all good. But yeah, man, that little blast of THC kind of got to me. Actually, I'm feeling like smoking some DMT right now. What do you think?
Do it live on camera.
I've done it before.
I want to see what happens to you. I think everybody wants to see. I think right now you're at the point where you just promised us you were going to do it live on camera.
I did not promise that, man.
You guys heard it, right? He promised he was gonna
No.
do it live on camera. Take one for the team, bro.
Hold on. Let's see.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. This shit's getting wild tonight.
Oh man, hell yeah. It smells like new sneakers.
I don't even know what it looks like.
Huh?
I've never seen it before.
I don't know. It looks like light brown sand, like little crystals. I don't know. But it smells like a new pack of tennis balls or a brand new pair of Nikes. You know what I mean? It's like seeping out of the plastic. Smell it. Let's see. I got something else you might like. Let me see. I think it's in this one. Dude, at FBIC last year, I was dosing everybody up with fucking LSD, man. Come on, bro. Yeah, here we go. This one here. Hold on. Yeah, this one. This is little cartoon character condoms. You can't probably make it out.
What the fuck?
Yeah. There's little strip of LSD. Yeah, it was condoms. They had little happy faces and shit.
Why do we you know how you were talking about numerology earlier? You talked about the guy that probably has like dollar bills just lying on his floor.
Yeah.
Well, without the numerology, I get the kind of feeling you're the guy that just got like hallucinogens lying all over the house.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I think a lot of people think I'm all like whacked out on drugs and shit. I'm actually like probably one of the more sober people in FE.
I'm just fucking with
it's weird. But no, I appreciate them and I like them. But I like, for me, I like when other people have enlightening experiences. I think I was a shaman in my past life. You know what I mean? But yeah, the story of Hori Sheet, if you've never heard it at the conference last year, he got like
I didn't know he had
elevator.
I didn't know he had a legend behind him.
Yeah, he got lost in an elevator and all this shit because I fucking gave him LSD. But he was thanking me, like he thanked me like 50 times after that. Like, dude, that was the best night of my life. Oh my God. Ish, thanks, dude. Wow. I'm like, all right, like you already told me thanks a couple times.
I spiked a drink with acid, dude. You're thanking me. All right, cool.
Yeah. You can thank me later. Yeah. But check this out.
Nice.
It looks like a little meth pipe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It is a meth pipe, basically. When I went to the pipe shop, I was like, hey, don't y'all carry meth pipes? They're like, dude, you can't say that. I was like, what? I was like, it's like, I don't know what I said. I was like, I need to turn some crystals into vapor. They're like, okay. And they like had them behind the counter. You know what I mean? They're like this. I was like, yeah, give me that. And then I had a whole conversation about DMT with them afterwards. But I don't know. I'm stupid. I thought it would be funny to ask for a meth pipe. By the way, don't smoke meth, kids, please. Will troll Ace for weed, Carla, you bitch.
Does Ace have Facebook? I'm sorry, I'm reading chat.
No, that's cool.
No, Ace doesn't have a Facebook. I used to have one. It was called Atom Bomb, ATOMBOMB. Until about 3 years ago, I was on a live stream and somebody asked me what my Facebook was. A friend, but so I said it was Atom Bomb. Long story short, 2 days later, anyways, I had an email 2 days later. I didn't know what it was, but about a month after that, I used to play this game called Agario or agar.io. And it's this little game where you're a ball. It's a website game. And you're a little ball and you eat the other little balls that are smaller than you. And you get bigger each time, right? So now you're a big fat ball, but you move slower. And you can like shoot half of your mass out, right? And so now you're split up into two balls, like half the size, which means you can get eaten by bigger ones, right? Until after about a minute, you recombine into one big one again. So it's just a stupid little game. And all the balls on the map are all human players, right? So there's like 100 fucking people on the map, all different sizes, moving around trying to eat each other. Well, the scoring system was tied to Facebook. Okay. So I haven't used Facebook in like, man, 8 years, 7 years. Like I fucking despised it even before I really knew what it was all about. So I always just had it and I just never updated it. Every once in a while, a family member or somebody, old person I was in contact with would hit me up. I'd talk to them. So I went to log into Agar.io to get my, level, and it wouldn't do it. So I checked Facebook and it's like, hey, we need your ID because it was reported that your name Atom Bomb isn't your legal name. So you need to send us identification.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck you. Like, I don't even use Facebook. Like, let alone gonna send you my motherfucking ID.
Yeah.
So that was it. Never looked back. And that was like 3 years ago. But the thing is, we've been going for 3 minutes or 3 hours, 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Anyways, the thing is, because I said my Facebook name on that live stream, somebody overheard it and they reported me. I got reported. That's why they wanted my ID. It wasn't until then.
Yeah.
They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Well, something happened recently with my PayPal. Dude, I don't do anything with PayPal. I don't take donations from no one, nothing. I've made a few purchases on like websites, and I've had one transaction on eBay using PayPal. Next thing you know, I'm completely fucking banned from PayPal. Not only that, the credit card I had attached to my PayPal file, I can't even make purchases online. You know how a lot of, like, if you buy something online, it's like you enter your credit card, but it's being processed through PayPal, even though you don't have to log in, right? Yeah. Well, even my credit card's fucking blacklisted.
and my transaction gets denied.
That's
so
crazy.
like I have to use a whole different payment method or a different credit card. They've literally blackmailed me. Like I've been blackmailed from PayPal, from Facebook, and I don't know why the PayPal, because I don't really use PayPal. And this happened right after Jaron got blacklisted. And
yeah, I remember you were saying that.
So I'm almost thinking, was it like a mass thing, like a group of people on a list type of a thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It might have been. Well,
I'm not
I think I'm getting ready to crash though. I'm fucking beat.
Yeah, kind of look like it.
It's been 3 hours.
You look beat like a slave, bruh.
Beat like a slave.
Yeah. Hey man, great chat. We should do it again sometime one of these days.
Yeah, definitely.
I had fun. I don't know.
Definitely. So anybody that didn't see the link that people would drop in my channel is just Brian Staveley. It's easy to find. Staveley. So check it out. So most of these people I know anyway. So
I'll put it in the description as well, of course. So
all right, cool. All right, well, that's it then. I'm gonna crash. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my computer tomorrow. I can't get into StreamYard. I was able to a few hours ago, but
dude, that sucks.
Yeah, because I was able to do the test one with you earlier. Fine. And ever since then, it won't. It keeps saying site not found. It's really weird. And any other website I go to on any browser, fine. I don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah, maybe it's something technical.
It's trolling. Dude, this is some kind of subtle trolling from the AI of the fucking universe or some shit. That's all I can think of. You got a better theory?
I don't know.
Subtle trolling from the universe itself? Like, just fucking with you? I don't know.
Or trolling from some cocksuckers,
Or, yeah, we're NSA and shit. Because I've had stuff, not exactly that, but you know what I mean? Things like that where there's no explanation and,
Yeah, people are asking in the chat because they must be people that follow me how they get in touch with you. So I'll tell them for me, my YouTube, Brian Staveley, Staveley. Make sure you sub my backups because I'm always getting banned. And my email is ricefoot@gmail.com. But people were asking you too, Ace. How do people get in touch with you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You could go to my email, I guess, which is not a space agency, which is NADA, like nada, right? Like nothing, nada space agency @gmail.com.
There you go.
I don't know why I tell people that and somehow they misspell it and shit. They're like, what was your email again?
Yeah.
It's real easy. Kind of like NASA, except you change the S to a D.
Yeah.
NASA Space Agency, just change the S to a D and you got it. Not a space agency. That's an awesome email, ain't it? I came up with that like fucking 6 years ago. Before Flat Earth and everything. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to crash. I'm going to eat.
All right. Good night. Peace, gang.
Right.
Thanks for showing up.
Right,
love y'all. Bye.
All right. Thank you, guys. Check out my channel. Peace.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. Wait, I can take questions from the chat for a little bit. Oh, look, everyone already left. Suckers. Now it's the bonus hour. All right. Oh, I like that comment. Holy shit. All right. So where are we? All right. Fuck NASA. True. Yep. I live in Colorado. Thank you. If that's who you were asking.
I call him Nada all the time. Exactly. I don't know what "we do not count" means. What would that mean? 80 people are here. I'm savage as fuck and faded as fuck, willing and able. When it comes around, I'm never afraid to put my dick on the table. Dude, you made me laugh so hard, Blaze, that Nicky, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Be more specific. May I visit you? What does that mean, Niku? Come on, man. What the fuck does that mean? May I visit you? Guys, are y'all seeing this weird shit? California glass. Dick on the table. Dick in your mouth. I tell the ladies to travel down south. I knew you were a fucking dude, bruh. Niku, where do you live, bruh? I want to hang out in real life. Where the fuck do you live? Saw something from Dan W. What's your favorite Discord? What does that mean, Dan? Well, I see people are dropping off, so fuck all y'all, I guess. I don't know. Suck my dick. Oops. Just kidding, guys. I'm pretty tired though, so what is this? Lamo types all the same. Getting labeled, rejected, they weak like triple deep, talking about shit. Script about to touch young sister's tongue. What the fuck? Blaze, what are you talking about, bro? Hey, Niku, I'm not gonna find you on Facebook, okay? So, sorry. Hey, Vitally, what's up, man? Or woman, I don't know. Genderless, you know. Man. Ace, point at Brian. Thumbs up, heart, and an arrow with the bullseye. Y'all silly. That freestyle went south like them ladies. Yeah, right. Let's see, I got one for you. All right, I'm gonna do a freestyle for you guys. No, that's not it. All right. So I'm officially unofficial in office unpolitical, the offer of thoughts critical that wash the brain literal. Literally, sight to blind spectacles, beat to street spectaculars, no great feat, just mere miracles. Men broken souls, not theoretical. Theoretically speaking of what's possible, tangibly being what's probable, and parabolically
teaching no parabola. Unelected elect, I come to grapple the fabric of space. No time to rap with ya. Truth must be spit. I won't tackle ya. Infinitely unstoppable in a synchronistically linked manifestival. Incarnate, we live, carnival, straight line, circle, come back, improbable. Mind out the box, bring radical. New ideas, occulted, magical. Brain can't maintain the thoughts, so scrabble them. Conflate my words, I still baffle them. Twisted truth remains true without proof. Neither I nor you can cause lies to come true. 'Cause lies are truth, we choose not to use, hide, twist, or bury for shame that we do. Maintaining the illusion that I am not you.